Hello, everybody. My name is Lewis Lee, and this is Playing in Traffic. We do this every Thursday night, live, just like now. And tonight we got Motor Mouth Radio Ray
in the house,
and we have all of the build team for the Skoolie. So I'm gonna go. Everybody go to the right, down to the bottom, and introduce yourselves, and we'll go from there. Arco, go.
Me first?
Yes, sir.
I'm Arco. This is Heidi. She's hiding over here. Minnesota Outlaw Customs. Go check out our YouTube channel, Outlaw Edge. And then right below me, go for it, Jay. Come on.
I'm Jason, Iron Horse Garage, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter box, whatever you can come up with, we're on there.
All right. Under me.
Hey guys, I'm Joey. I'm from Mill Creek Fab Shop. I'm friends with all these guys, so keep me in prayer. And we got a lot going on at my shop, but we're excited about being a part of this big Raise the Roof event.
All right, we got No Class Paul.
I love that. Is he froze?
I think he's froze up again.
Or he's taking a nap.
I think he's dead.
Don't even my friend Paul.
Okay, so listen. Everybody on the screen is part of my my friend list and my build, my Skoolie build. So if anybody don't know, I'm building a school bus, an old school bus, into an RV. So me and the wife can pretend like old folks and drive around the country. So I decided to lift my roof 18 inches, and I got a hold of Arco, and he turned this into an event. And that's where we ended up now. So we're doing it January 29th and 30th. And all
how you guys doing?
All these good people coming in. Hey, Paul. Okay, go ahead, Paul. Tell everybody who you are and what you do. Again.
Either one.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
he's got real bad service or something. He keeps freezing up.
Yeah. So we're at the end of the month. We're gonna cut my roof off and lift it up, and hopefully nobody loses any fingers
Or arms. If you do lose an arm, hopefully it's a lift, and I'll just take it home with me.
Yeah, you use it.
Pack it nice, right?
You can't afford to be losing any arms.
Yeah.
Right. So I called in the big guns. Arco is a metal fabricator that is awesome. So Arco, tell them a little bit about your company and what you're striving to do in the future.
So Heidi and I, we own Minnesota Outlaw Customs, and we also own we have the Outlaw Edge YouTube channel, and we have Driven Custom Apparel and company. And we build custom cars, motorcycles. We do fabrication, a lot of like one-off stuff, hand built cars and whatever. Just, I don't know what else you want to say. What?
It's all him. No, just kidding. Yeah, we've been in the car. Well, we've had our shop open. He built cars in California, and then we opened our shop in 2015 and started, right out the gate. We thought we would do a little automotive, and next thing we knew, we were doing full builds within a few months, and it kind of just took off from there. We built the Roadster, and that kind of made us locally known, and just the metal fab from that really got people looking at different things that you could do with your cars instead of just taking stock body parts and putting them on the stock body and then chopping it. Instead, he made it in his windshield and a bunch of other stuff. So I think it just was one of those things that helped him propel himself into what he really wanted to do.
And like in our shop, the stuff that we do it, most of it by hand, old school style, lost art style fabrication, hammers and dollies and beater bags and stumps and all that.
Rocks and sticks.
Instead of using, $500,000 machines and whatever. So it's pretty cool.
It's basically fun. The everyman's, like almost anyone in their home garage can afford the same tools that we use to build cars. We really don't have any other than your welding table. Not everybody gets a welding table like that.
For my birthday.
For your birthday.
Yeah. Well, if everybody take a chance or take time to go over to his YouTube channel. Amazing work, man. He's building a car from scratch, all metal work, and it's hitting. So go over to his YouTube channel, check it out, and leave comments, man. That's real important. Leave comments on everything. That helps us all out. Yep. Who we going? Iron Horse. Give us a spiel.
All right. Well, about a year ago, we started Iron Horse Garage. Something we've been doing, kind of fooling around with since we were about 15 years old. We finally decided to open up. Right now, we do just about everything automotive. Eventually, the plan is just to do custom one-off builds. But right now, we just do what we can do. So,
Yes, to bring me back up.
Where's William Hyde tonight?
Okay, there he goes.
I think he's working on a truck somewhere.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, how you doing?
I think we got a little bit better connection now. I closed out the laptop and just went on with the cell phone.
Okay, yeah, that's way better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glad to have you. We thought you were taking a nap.
I was trying to, but Arco will not let me take a nap. He just makes too much noise beating them hammers around.
Hey, Paul, it's a pleasure to meet you, Paul.
Pleasure to meet everybody. It's an honor to be part of the build. Thank you very much for bringing me on.
Oh man, believe me, I'm at awe how many people want to come help. People are texting me, emailing me, and I don't have no more room. I'm like, I can't have any more guys. I got too many people coming. So yeah, man.
So speaking of fabricators, Paul is one of the best fabricators that I know, man. I mean,
I guess you just don't know anybody. That's what it is. No, thank you very much, Arca. I appreciate it.
You should see some of the stuff he does too. So,
what's your specialty?
I can't really say I have a specialty. A piece of metal talks to me, and I beat it up until it stops talking.
There you go.
Sounds like a perfect marriage.
I've done that to a lot of people, bro.
Oh, shoot.
I'm starting to get into a little bit of metal. I've done fiberglass, a little this, a little that, but metal is starting to intrigue me. So I'm gonna try to do a lot more of it. I've been buying some equipment, little stuff here and there. But that's on my list to learn.
That's one of the things when we're at the shop, when we have a few minutes or whatever, we'll I don't know if we're gonna bring an English wheel, but Tyler was saying that some of the people there might have one, but I'm gonna bring my my portable English wheel. I'll throw that in the car, bring it with us, and if we have a few minutes or whatever, I'll do like a couple little a short little class with like me and Paul. We'll do some English wheel, beater bag, shrinking stump kind of stuff. So it'd be pretty fun.
That'd be great.
I'm gonna bring my hammer, or I'll bring my plenishing hammer. I'll bring my handheld shrinker stretcher. I'll have the shrinking dolly. I'll have the hammer, shrinking hammer, some other miscellaneous hammers and dollies. But I'll show you some of the basic tricks that were taught to me years ago. My favorite things is an old piece of railroad track.
Yeah.
Just a piece of hardened railroad track is really all you need to beat against.
Like a anvil.
It's similar to an anvil. I like it better than an anvil because it's got different curvatures on a piece of railroad track than the standard flat and narrowed nose of an anvil.
That's one of the things. Like you see me using an anvil in the shop all the time, but you in a lot of my videos and stuff, you see me using that big chunk of railroad track that I have. Also, I have a big chunk of railroad track, and I got the small railroad track piece. And I mean, all those different shapes. A lot of times you got to be real. You got to get in there and think with your brain and just until you're like, oh my gosh, I'll figure this out. And sometimes it gets frustrating, but you stand back and look at it, and then pretty soon you'll be like, oh, I'll use this oxygen acetylene tank or something, to shape parts on or whatever. So
once you start metal shaping, you tend to start seeing things differently.
Yeah. Like
everything becomes a way to make a new shape.
At garage sales, swap meets, all this stuff, and I'll pick up something. She'll be like, what the hell is that? Some old rusty chunk of metal. And I'll be like, oh, this is for such and such,
It's a new shaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I had a lady at work and she has some woodworking tools, and she goes, they bought the house and the stuff is in her basement, and she has a big log with a piece of railroad on the top. And I was like, oh no, I don't need that. So now I'm gonna go get it because you guys told me.
Yeah, I was doing some work on my car last year, and I had to do some, just clearance a few things. And I said, I needed something round. And I said, what am I going to use like this round? And I looked like I had a trailer hitch ball. I'm like, this is it. This is my round shape, and it worked. So let me ask you, metal guys, a question, because I dabble in it, but nowhere's near your level. You talk about shrinking and stretching and shrinking metal. How many times can you go back and forth? Like if you I know it probably depends on the gauge and the actual alloy of the metal, but how forgiving is it? And when do you know that you've gone too far? And now that
it takes a lot when you're using like 18 to 20 gauge sheet metal, it takes a lot to crack it or split it or wreck it. You can go back and forth. And I tell that to Heidi all the time. Now, aluminum is completely different. Aluminum, you can do so many times and then it work hardens. And then you have to anneal it. And once you anneal it, you can do it. But you can only do it so many times before it just blows apart. It just starts cracking all over the place. And once you start those cracks, then you're kind of screwed. It's kind of a waste,
Yeah.
And then it's easier to cut that piece out that you messed up and weld in another piece or whatever. But as far as metal, I mean, you could beat on that thing all day long and shrink it and then stretch it and shrink it and stretch it, because really that's the only two things you can do with metal is to shrink it and stretch it. You have one way or the other.
Right.
You can stretch and stretch and stretch, and you'll realize you've gone too far because it's past where you wanted it to be, but then you can shrink it right back up. It's steel, mild steel. You can do almost anything you want. You can't screw it up. You can always bring it back to where it was.
See,
aluminum seems to have a little bit more of a memory and always wants to go back to where it began. Yeah. So, like you were saying, you can overwork aluminum, but mild steel, cold rolled steel, it's endless. You can go with it, and then if you go too far, you just bring it back.
Yeah. I guess the thing that gets in my head is I'd worked in a metallurgy lab years ago, and I used to look at the grain structure of the metal.
Yeah.
And a lot of brass. It was electrical stuff. And I saw on a microscopic level what happens to that metal. And just the fact that to think that it could go back still boggles my mind. I mean, I know it can, but, I think if you ever worked in metallurgy, it's probably the worst thing.
Non-ferrous metals, all non-ferrous metals pretty much act the same. All ferrous metals pretty much act the same. So it doesn't matter what you're working with. If a magnet sticks to it, it's a ferrous metal, and you can do whatever you want. If a magnet doesn't stick to it, it's a non-ferrous metal, and it does have its limitations. But even then, like Arco was saying, you can anneal the aluminum and bring it right back.
Yeah.
But like stainless steel is really brittle and it's a really weird style metal to work with, but you can work it,
Well, yeah, now we're talking about ductility and things like that. But and even brass, you have different alloys of brass. It depends how much tin and nickel, and some are very easy to work and some are a lot harder to work. So you gotta.
Hey, let me interrupt for a minute and tell Lewis there's some guys I think waiting in the lobby, and some of them are saying they can't get in because I guess the lobby's full. So I just want to bring that to your attention.
Opt out at 10, Lewis.
You're jumping out 10. Let's see. People.
There's some questions on the comments too.
Yeah, well, you figure that out. You can answer the questions. Fun question for everyone. Favorite metalworking tool?
Hammer.
Arco, go for
hammer.
A hammer, yeah. It has to be a hammer because I mean, you could have dollies and all these things, and to me, it'd be the hammer. And as far as my favorite would be, as far as favorite metalworking tool on the larger scale would be the English wheel. And then kind of like in the medium scale, that would be your beater bag and your shrinking stump. Those would be my three favorites right there. So, but yeah, hammer all the way. That's why I got 10,000 hammers.
Yeah.
Right.
I got one for you to repair, actually. So,
yeah.
I want to jump in real quick.
Hammer.
I got three other people that's on the build that's they're on YouTube. People in the chat, can you jump out for a few minutes and maybe watch it on YouTube so we can get these other guys in? And then
I can go ahead and knock me out. I'll get the laptop set back up to watch on YouTube.
Well, no. I want you to stay on because you're going to be part of the build.
Oh, okay.
Hold on a second.
But I can't see any of the chat when we're in the room here, so I can't see the questions coming up.
Okay, so you can jump out if you want. That'll work.
Well, I'm not going to jump out because this whole technical thing. I can beat something with a hammer, but I better not hit my phone with the hammer.
Okay. Hey, Jason, can you jump out and watch on YouTube so I can get another person in?
Well, before he goes, I wanted to say Wayne Reynolds said in chat that Jason going is a nincompoop.
Wait a minute, not Jason. I'm sorry, Justin. Not Jason.
Yeah, Jason. Right? Gotcha. Oh, what?
Wait a minute.
We were in the wrong chat. We were in the boring chat.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so we got room for one person right now. Nights in, long. Okay, here we go. Wait a minute.
Hey.
For some reason,
Michael.
Hey.
What's up, Mikey?
Hey,
Tyler.
What the hell?
what's up?
Hey, Tyler. Good to see you. Good to see you, Mikey.
Bill.
Hey,
everybody.
Oh,
How's it going?
Holy mackerel.
I'm good,
right.
man.
okay,
Hey,
now
we were more than 6 feet close, so we might all end up with COVID. So
oh, geez.
Michael, how you been
COVID.
doing?
COVID isn't a computer virus. We're good.
Good. Good to
Yeah.
see you, man.
okay, let's get to introductions. Bill, you go first.
Bill Cameron, Edge of Eternity. Live over by Detroit.
Okay, and what do you do at your shop, or give us a little info on yourself?
I've got a 69 Z28. I'm getting ready to wrap up. I've been wrapping it up for 2 years, but it's getting closer now. Got the motor running the other night, and it's going really good. I got a 77 CB750A I bought off of Mr. Collins over there, and
yeah, buddy.
getting going on that. The big thing I got coming up next is I'm starting a T-bucket. I'm going to build the whole thing from the ground up, all metal, and looking forward to that. Love the metal making stuff, and that's what I did as a trade when I was younger. And so I'm looking forward to doing that. Just wrapping up an English wheel I've been building for a while, and just got all my lower anvil wheels the other night, and so I got everything I need now.
And you recently, didn't you just install something in your shop to keep it warm?
Yeah, I just put in a furnace, man,
Oh,
in the nick of time. It's been freezing cold over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have that. Okay, who's next? Tyler.
I was gonna say we missed Mill Creek Fab Shop earlier too. So.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute, Joey. Go ahead,
What?
spit.
Oh, I did. I was just saying, hey, I'm Mill Creek Fab Shop. I'm in Ohio, about 40 minutes from Lewis and Tyler, and looking forward to the roof raising. It's going to be a great time, I believe. Got a lot of great guys coming and great channels, and can't wait to meet everybody. It's going to be awesome.
Same here. Okay, Tyler.
I'm Tyler. I run the Mr. Longshot YouTube channel. Just got it started recently, and it's growing quick. I do a lot of metal fabrication, custom roll cages, wiring, LS swaps, all that kind of stuff. Pretty much totally performance oriented. I also have 9 years experience on a live action stunt team, and I do some stunt driving and directing and coordinating stuff like that. And we are using. I'm Tyler. I run the Mr. Longshot YouTube channel.
Oh, what happened there?
Just got it started
that's weird.
recently, and it's
Somebody's listening to it on.
Somebody's got their YouTube channel on.
metal fabrication, custom roll
Yeah,
cages,
not me.
wiring.
Oh.
LS
Bill, is that
swaps,
you?
all that kind of stuff.
Nope.
That's not
Michael?
Yeah. Oh.
It was Paul.
Holly.
So anyway,
Got
the last part of what I was going to say is that we are using my facility for the roof raising for Lewis's bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And I got to say, he's got a very, very nice studio styled shop that is humongous. And I
Yeah,
can't
it's
wait
ready
to
to
see
go.
that in person.
and Tyler, I think, caught the bus bug because he's been looking at buses.
Oh yeah.
That's why I was late getting on. Actually, I was at dinner with my parents, and I was going on and on about how I'm selling my house and I'm building a bus and I'm gonna build a shop into a trailer to tow behind the bus, and I'm, screw this town, I'm out. You'll find me in some southern state during the winter, and maybe I'll camp in Arco's backyard for the summer. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been harassing me with messages and videos about, hey, check this out.
You and Lewis and some
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah. I
think
tell you,
cool,
it's
though.
addicting, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't tell you how many videos I've watched. I mean, my history is deep with videos. There's a lot of people doing it, and it's becoming a thing. So,
yeah. Lately, what I've been watching a lot of is videos of guys building cabins and shelters out in the woods, like a wilderness type thing.
Oh, like your house.
And yeah, kind of like my house right now, only it's got vinyl siding. It's way out there. But no, I'm talking about they're way out in the woods. You can't even see it from any kind of road or nothing. But
Yeah, you got to park your car and hike for half a day to get there.
yeah, and my idea of that is to build it right up in Big Falls, Minnesota, out in the woods, and just invite everybody there for a great weekend or week or whatever.
I hear there's a nice
There's some
junkyard there.
weirdos that live there, man.
There's some weirdos, and the thing that you're probably not used to is the amount of bugs and mosquitoes that we have here.
They'll carry you away.
They will carry your butt right
Well,
away.
I got bug spray and JJ. That's all I need.
They only have like 8 weeks out of the year to do their bug thing. So
yeah,
Yeah.
they are ferocious, fierce.
Yeah.
hey, I think we have one more introduction.
we
too,
have
don't
Yeah.
Mr. Knight. Mr. Knight.
How's it going? My name is Michael Knight on here, but it's Michael Nick Knight in real life. I used to be a line mechanic for a ketchup place. I did every job in the plant and all that other stuff, but I also did derbies. Did a lot of work with friends on cars and stuff like that. Ended up having some things go wrong with my legs, so now I just sit at home and play in the shop all day. So I literally just get to make anything I want, do what I want.
It's really good to see you, Michael. Really good to see you.
Yeah, it is, man. And he does some
wanna-
beautiful fabrication. You guys should see the stuff he builds, man.
Like
yeah,
that.
there you go.
You see this? He built this. It's it's called a third hand helper or something like that.
Cool. It's a hat.
Or
Yeah.
second.
Yeah, and it's got a hammer, the middle finger when you're tired of looking at the work.
Well, he sent you a message at the same time. That's all.
But yeah, this was built. He custom built this using a what kind of welder was that?
Flux core.
Flux core.
Yep.
I've never seen anybody be able to flux core as good as this guy. He is. I mean, it's just amazing. I love it.
And you can scratch your back with it too.
Yeah, you can take the hide off with that thing.
Michael,
But he's got the video of him custom building that entire thing on his channel. It's really cool.
do you use that dual shield or straight flux?
I did straight flux on that one. I can do dual shield now. I didn't have gas at the time, so it was made out of straight flux.
He's got a great YouTube channel though. You guys should go check it out. Anybody that's on here, go watch his channel. It's really good. He's got some good stuff on there, man.
And I'll start getting videos out again here soon.
I hope so. I'm getting bored.
Yeah, and William said in chat that you're no better looking than the last time he saw you. I agree, but I'd really like to see a new video. So
I'm working on it.
yeah.
Well, you got to make at least a announcement video that you're coming to the roof raising.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on my phone call from Edge of Eternity, Bill Cameron, so that I can call Michael and get our video and get it up.
Yeah,
You just be patient till tomorrow, Joey. I'm going to stay at the home office tomorrow, so I'll be able to do some stuff. I was
All right,
buried
good.
in the Dearborn truck plant all day today,
Oh, wow.
So
which I'd love
Lewis,
to take you guys in if you ever came to Detroit.
Oh,
And
I want to go there.
Let you see what that plant is like, man. It's so cool, the way they do all the assembly processes now.
I bet it's huge too, huh?
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I've been to
Clean.
Detroit a bunch of times. I go up there every year for a big car show up there in Royal Oak.
Which car show?
It started out as the W Body Gathering in like 2012, and it was all a bunch of enthusiasts that have the front wheel drive Grand Prix and Regals and all that,
Yeah.
all the 3800 powered stuff. And it kind of has expanded because a lot of the people moved on from that community to the Holden community. So that's the G8s, the GTOs, and stuff like that. So now it's a big conglomeration, and it's been going, except for COVID crap, it's been going every year for almost a decade. So,
Well, we'll have to coordinate if you come up this year.
yeah, for sure. Right now, unless Michigan shuts down public gatherings again, it's supposed to be on. So,
Good. I'm only about 40 minutes from there.
okay, sweet.
Yeah, and just be careful. Bill has a rice burner eater sitting in his garage.
Rice burner eater.
Yeah, those little 4-banger cars.
Oh,
Yeah, the Z28 can eat it. So,
Ray,
That's
what were
the
you
one
going to say?
W body right there. Yeah.
Shirt today.
Gathering, yeah.
Check
Cool.
it out.
Now,
So
Lewis,
that-
my thought is, with all of this assemblage of talent, do you have a plan for what you're going to do? Or
no,
do you have a plan for
nothing.
what everybody else is going to do? Or is it just going to be everybody grabs a saw and just, because you'll have like these zigzag cuts all like,
Yeah.
is there a plan?
Yeah,
or what?
Yeah, we're gonna have everybody's gonna have a roll of duct tape.
No duct tape.
I can already tell that Ray didn't watch my video
I did.
No,
No,
listen,
because you do a walk around on your bus and you show exactly where we're going to cut and everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Lewis's
Yeah.
video. Yeah, I saw him.
And I can add Ray to the email list, and he'll be able to see that list of
Yeah.
everything that's going to be done in the order that it's going.
Sure.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do have a plan. This is
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
Yeah.
yeah. We're highly sophisticated gentlemen.
'Cause
I'm
I know,
ready
like, I've gotten together with guys in the past to do a project. Maybe 4, maybe 5 tops at the most one time. And everybody just kind of gravitates to what they do the best after you have this general overall.
Mhm.
And then, with the right people, you just know what to do. But
Yeah.
So I think
I
it's
would
going to be similar to building a factory. There's going to be a blueprint on the wall, and then everybody just comes in and says, "Oh, I'm good at
Come on.
cutting and I can measure, so I'm going to go do that."
And that's I was talking to Joey and also Paul Lyons. Same thing. I was telling him that I hate when I show up to big events and it's just a bunch of. I mean, it's fine if everybody wants to talk and hang out afterwards, but like I told Joey and Paul, I said when we show up, man, be ready to work because we're not messing around.
Yeah.
Paul went with us to build that drag car in South Carolina, and me and Heidi and Paul showed up over there with a bunch of vets, military vets. And we built that drag car in we were there for like 3 days or something like that.
I was with you guys for 2 days. You were there 3 days.
Yeah.
And we knocked it out. It was from morning till night. We stopped, we ate lunch, but we were right back at it.
We kicked ass.
We kind of felt everyone out. Everyone had their strong point, and they went with what their strong point. If you didn't know how to swing a hammer, you weren't trying to swing the hammer. If you didn't know how to weld, you weren't trying to weld. That didn't mean that Arco and I weren't coaching and helping instruct and giving some people direction. And we're open for that, but we're there to work. We're not going to be there to hang out and party. And like I was discussing with Arco, we're not there. We don't really want to be rude, but at the same time, we don't want that one guy to kill the buzz.
Yeah. Like I've been saying, that this is about raising the roof. It's about getting something done for our brother Lewis, and there'll be time for playing around, but we're there to raise this roof and get this done for him so he can move to the next stage.
Joe, is that why I hear you have that bag of M80s? Is that like for the fun part?
You weren't supposed to say that, but
sorry. I thought it was known. I thought it was.
Well, that's just to get people in gear.
Okay.
I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this event though, because it's not only going to be all of us there working on this to help Lewis out. Lewis is going to end up traveling to the other shops with his wife in this bus. And I'm hoping that, Heidi and I can go camping with them and, not in their bus or whatever, but like bring something and go camping with them and go to these. go to the different shops and hang out with you guys,
Yeah.
and help others. That's what it's all about,
Yep. And we also me and Arco talked about going to other people's projects. So, Paul might have a project, or, Bill or somebody might need help that are disabled, or, something like that. So we might be able to go. Well, I'm disabled too, but what I'm saying is we might be able to go help somebody that had a car sitting for years or something. We go help them knock it out.
And that's exactly kind of what I've been gravitating towards when I'm thinking about what I would want to do with a bus conversion of my own. And so that's why I keep thinking, like a triaxle enclosed trailer with my project car that I want to have with me, but then the front half of the trailer be like a fully equipped shop with my bandsaw and my drill press and my welder with me and all that stuff, and going to like going to Arco's and doing filming there and going all over the place. I really think that I have the location here to do a lot of cool stuff, but if the YouTube thing really takes off, I would really like to be able to take my act on the road, so to speak, and go and do a lot of these like events all around.
Well, we're down for the same thing, brother. I mean, we'll be right there tagging along, helping you out, busting ass,
Yep.
So, I think if we do a couple of these, projects like this, we could do something like an auto show or something where we're building a project right there on site. You know what I mean? I think that would be, and then we get other people interested in getting into the build part, not just the looking part.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, who mentioned that they wanted to build a T-bucket, or they were in the process of building a T-bucket?
I did, Paul.
Okay, I've done 3 T-buckets.
Have you really?
Yes, and I really like my Model A now, because once you have a T-bucket and you do a second one, you do a third one, and you get wet enough in a T-bucket, eventually you want to move into a Model A.
Yeah.
So with that being said, are you familiar with Mickey Lowry and Total Performance years ago?
No, I don't think I am.
Mickey Lowry owned a company named Total Performance out of Wallingford, Connecticut.
Okay.
He was like Mr. T-bucket on the East Coast for many, many years. What he ended up doing at a couple different events was they built the T-bucket, showed how simple his kits were. At York at the Street Ride Nationals, his 3 daughters started building the T-bucket on Friday, and on Sunday they were driving around the fairgrounds.
Wow.
That's a cool kind of thing. That's what I'm thinking about,
There's T-buckets are the simplest ones to do that with.
Yeah.
But there's no reason you can't do that with a Model A. There's no reason you can't do that with a 32. You can do that with a 40 Ford.
Yep.
All these pre-war hot rods, quote unquote rat rods, street rods, whatever you want to categorize it as, are all basic, simple vehicles that almost everything. 30 years ago, you couldn't just pick up the catalog and buy these parts. Today, you can get almost anything you need except a title.
It'd be fun though to get the sponsors to help us out and then build these cars at these shows or these shops, film the whole thing, and then off the thing, off the car at auction and give it to charity. Do something.
That's where I was kind of leading with this, Arco. Is you're 100% correct. I don't have the skill set to go and approach the people for the materials and for the kits and the parts and everything. I have the skill to build it. So if somebody's got the skill to market it and to talk to these people, fantastic. Let's do it. Let's put together a T-bucket build and auction it for Make-A-Wish Foundation or something.
Right.
I know a couple of people.
That really takes off. Imagine if we got we got a couple of those under our belt, and then we go and we do a booth at SEMA where we build a car at SEMA and then give it away.
That'd be kick-ass.
Like a 59
I'm all for that. I mean, there's 6 or 7 shows throughout the country that are the truly high-end, well-recognized shows, excluding SEMA. Take SEMA out of it for a second, because that's on the top of the list. But the Grand National Roadster Show, Detroit Autorama, Starbird Show, And then you got things like Pebble Beach and Amelia Island on the higher end scale stuff. I mean, you're not going to see a T-bucket at Pebble Beach other than the kooky car, but there's a lot of high end, large shows that have a lot of spectators, and that's what you can't do this at the local Dairy Queen. You got to do it at one of the events that's going to have a large amount of spectators. And that's not to say that the Dairy Queen wouldn't get packed if we tried to do this in the parking lot of Dairy Queen. and that's very doable. But there's plenty of ways to do this. If we get Speedway or Summit or one of these companies to sponsor a kit, there's no reason why we couldn't knock it out with a Blue Point engine and a Jasper transmission.
Right.
Over a weekend.
It's amazing what a bit of advertising does for an event like that too. So with my years under my belt with the stunt team, it's incredible. We can go to this little podunk town in the middle of nowhere and put on our live action stunt show, and we have sold out entire county fair grandstands just because they did the proper amount of advertising. People coming from counties around, packing the place. And then we've also gone to places that typically have large events and good attendance, and then it's just like crickets and the seats are half empty because they didn't do enough advertising ahead of time.
Yeah. Perfect examples. Look at Big Falls, what we've done here in this town with our car show.
Right.
Heidi's worked her ass off advertising the first year, and after that we just quit advertising because it was just out of control.
We put out just do flyers.
Yeah, we just drop flyers every once in a while now, but I mean now everybody knows about it, and every year they show up for this show. So
and the burnouts help. I mean the leaving excitedly helps. But
yeah, Heidi, you dropped the ball last year. You gave me like 2 days notice for your car show.
I know.
I don't want to hear that crap. You're the type of guy that would get it. It's only 73 hours there. I'll be there tomorrow morning.
Right.
I've already got it on my calendar for this year.
Awesome. But we even have a good shop for doing something like that because we have the mezzanine and you could literally film all of everything from above. Yeah. Building your car. And then, I sell the t-shirts out of the shop now, and that's like, everybody just loves that where they can come in and look around. But yeah, that is an epic idea. And I think that would have a lot of traction. We'll just, see how things go and get everybody together and work real hard at this. Kind of feel everybody's talents out. That would be amazing.
Yeah. I want Michael Knight as my bodyguard.
And also build the hype. Building the hype, do it once a year so that you can build hype for the whole event. I think that would be really epic.
You got a question for a charity is a big deal. That would make it successful.
Yeah. You got a question in the chat there, Heidi and Arco. They want to know, when is the show?
Well, how about if I just look, because I don't know.
August 20th.
Last year it was August 22nd, I believe.
August 20th.
Yeah.
August 20th, Big Falls, Minnesota, and it's the Resurrectors reunion.
And you can't miss it because they own the whole town. So.
Not quite. My twin.
And you could do burnouts and drink in the middle of the street. You won't get arrested because they're the law there too.
Yeah,
no, we're not the law.
The law usually is standing next to us drinking and watching the show.
They are not.
Sounds like my kind of town.
Although it's really
I don't drink.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I'm gonna jump in real quick. I hate to do this, but we have Terry Wilson, Coverman 66, wants to jump in. Can anybody want to jump out so I can get him in?
I'll step out and go into the comments.
We'll jump out.
Yeah.
No.
I want to say hi to
Michael, it's good seeing you, buddy.
Right.
Yeah.
Later, Michael.
Nice meeting you, Michael.
It's good to see you, Mikey.
Wait to see you at the shop.
Great meeting you, buddy.
Why don't we kick Ray out? He's not coming.
I like
He's the co-host.
Ray's my man. Ray's my Kumba. We can't kick him out.
He's the secretary. He's got to keep notes.
I'm actually the backup. If the show fails, I can actually run it.
Oh
Yeah,
with Lewis's ghetto internet.
Yeah, right. You never know. I might cut off at any moment.
William from Iron Horse Garage in chat says, ask Jason about Jesse James. So, Jason, tell us about Jesse James.
Jesse James. He was a gunslinger.
Okay. We knew that.
Robbed a bank in Northfield, Minnesota. I actually have a bank teller window thing from that.
What he's referring to is that my grandmother told us that Jesse James, the car builder, was our like 14th cousin or something.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think any of that's true, but
You're almost famous.
right.
Yeah.
Almost.
yeah.
He's almost something.
Yeah. And Glenn Ridd from NZ Mopar's Outlaw Customs is complaining that he hasn't gotten a flyer yet. So.
Sorry, Glenn.
Stuck in the mail.
I'll just
Glenn, you're going to have to drive over here and get it, okay?
Yeah. I'm going to unsubscribe from your channel.
Hey, Terry.
Hey,
What's up, Terry, man?
Coverman 66. He's a part of our build.
I'm sorry I missed Mike. I'm sorry I missed.
And Coverman knows Jesse James personally, I hear.
Yep.
Yeah.
One episode.
As well as Finnegan, too. That was in response to me mentioning Finnegan.
Oh, okay.
Mike Finnegan's the man. I like Mike. I like him a lot.
He's a
Who's
nice
that?
guy.
I don't know him.
I got to hang out with him at SEMA. He's a good dude.
I don't know
And it's
who he
funny.
is.
It's funny. A lot of people don't know. And I told him that you know the show Faster with Finnegan?
Yeah.
Oh, where'd he go?
Poof.
Poof.
What happened?
I guess when you ask
There he
about
is.
Finnegan, you get poofed.
You get No, the Faster with Finnegan show. I auditioned for it. And I
Okay.
almost got it. But then they decided to go with his friends, which was a smart move.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
they were
we're
trying
friends
to
with
get-
Mike Cotton too. And,
Yeah, with Mike. Yeah, because they were trying to. They were going to send me down to Georgia and hang out with him for a couple of days just to see if there was some type of chemistry. And I talked to Finnegan about it at PRI. He says, "You want to know what happened?" I was like, "Please, I'd love to know what happened." He says, basically, what happened was, they sent two guys down here and to my shop, and we just didn't connect at all. And he says to producers, "Why don't you just my boys are right here. We get along. Why are you trying to fabricate some type of relationship with strangers?" And and I was like, well, the sad part is I was the next crew that was coming down.
yeah.
So that's what happened with that. But I tell you guys something. I'm going to preach a little right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Come on, brother.
Sit down. You're gonna like this one.
It's going to be
Preach it.
about LS Motors.
No. We're not going to even talk about that, but we will later on. I know how you feel, Longshot. Don't worry about it. We're methodical, my friend.
Come on, preach it, white boy. Come on.
Well, here we go. I was listening to everything that you guys said, as far as because I was, paying attention,
Oh,
and I think every one of you guys are right. I think that, to do a build all together, that would be awesome. And each one of us, I think everyone on the screen has a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So I always felt that there's strength when you have like with YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, there's strength in numbers. When I say numbers, I'm talking about a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is we need to get our numbers up. And between everyone here, if we go on each site, each one's I'm talking about YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. If we go to each and every one's page, site, whatever, and just start liking everything, because there's strength in likes.
Good idea.
So if you have, let's say Arco, let's say they got like 200 videos, right? I'm looking at like over 1,000 likes, because if Lewis Lee does it, that's gonna be 200. My man Iron Horse, he does it. Jason, that's 200. That's 400. Mill Creek, 600. Arco, and Arco, do it yourself. I always like my stuff, but you gotta go. You gotta like that. Don't stop with the YouTube. Go with the Instagram. If you got 500, I'm looking again. Arco, that's 500. Okay. Iron Horse, that's 1,000. Mill Creek, that's 1,000. Same with Lewis Lee. The number should just go up, because that's how you get into that whole algorithm thing with likes, shares, and views.
Comments.
And me and Joey were talking about that the other day. Like he says, when he goes to like a friend's house, he just puts it on random, like what's it called? A mixed like his
playlist.
Play like a shuffle.
Yeah,
you can do that
playlist.
on YouTube. You know, so you want to get your numbers up. That's how.
Yeah,
you gotta
and
the
and
more
how that
numbers
works
we have
is
up, the more numbers we have social media up.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we can go and be like, hey, look at what we got going on here. Look how many numbers we got. This is what we can guarantee.
Right.
And I'm going
So
to throw this out there, Terry, that my latest video, I gave you a verbal shout out, and your link is in my description on my latest video. So
you see, that's what I'm talking about. See, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Mr. Longshot. I've already started. I started with what's it called Joey the other night, and I'm gonna go to each and every one's website, and all your videos. I'm just like.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
Tell me when you find my website and my videos.
huh?
Yeah.
You don't have one.
Yeah,
When you
Paul
get
Lyons
one, or
there.
even your Facebook
Yeah,
or Instagram.
I need to find an 18-year-old kid to set this shit up for me.
Yeah,
You're gonna
Yeah,
be.
he said-
Are you gonna be in? Are you gonna be in on the raising?
No,
you got it. You're gonna be in the raising roof, right?
Yes.
Yep.
yeah,
I'm gonna
Yes,
have my laptop.
I'll
and
be
we'll
in
go through
Ohio.
it real quick. We'll set you up real quick.
All right, so you set me up then.
I'll set you
yeah.
up real quick.
And what Terry was saying there about me going to a friend's and getting on their devices and watching my content, what it is every IP address counts as watch time. And so if I log out of my account or don't log in at all and just go to my YouTube on their computer or whatever and start my playlist, put it on mute while I hang out and visit and let all that play, that's free watch time for me on my channel. And I do that at families' houses, friends, anytime I go visit. Like this
but
past,
only his channel because he's a narcissist.
huh? What'd you say?
I said, but only
I'll
your
be
channel.
right back,
'cause you're a
guys.
narcissist.
But-
But
Fake naked.
But it works, and I got that idea from a lady on YouTube. She had done a video talking about how she made it to her 4,000 watch time hours, and she was asking all of her coworkers to get on her channel and just let it play, and family and friends, and it took her, she said, about 4 weeks, and she was at 4,000 watch time hours.
Wow.
And there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with in the video, you know, like you give a little description, hey, what we're gonna be doing this and all that. But before we start, why don't you click that start, punch that bag to get notified, and what's it called? We're gonna get going. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with asking for,
yeah, you gotta ask for it.
you gotta ask
Yeah.
for it. And then what I usually do, I don't know if you've seen some of my videos within the first 5 minutes, first 2 minutes, you'll see like a little cover man, YouTube,
Yeah, I need to get better with
Instagram,
using
all that
cards
stuff.
and stuff.
Give them
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and every night before I go to bed, I choose a channel that I haven't watched their playlist. I'll put my computer on mute and I'll start their playlist. Then I turn the TV off so that the light's not disturbing me, and go to sleep and let their playlist play all night long while I'm sleeping, and that helps build their channel.
And that's
So-
what we should be doing with each other, especially this
Yeah.
circle right
Yeah.
here. If we plan on doing something all together, we gotta get numbers up, because you got someone who has 10,000 followers. Okay, cool. But if you get someone that has 50,000 followers, companies will listen.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Terry. I have my web guy really
What's
gets
up,
into
Ray,
the
man? How
analytics.
you doing, buddy?
Very good, man. And he's deep into this stuff. So my thought is, how long before they figure out that people are doing this and figure out another way to have that you have to make it happen? Because
Well, it's, to me, I think it's like a thing where if you know it's happening, there's really nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do is if you see, because it goes on IP address, this internet protocol. So if you see a number, like 7, views coming from this one IP address, chances are it's the guy at the same house. He probably has the shuffle on the YouTube shuffle on his iPad, his cell phone, maybe a couple TVs. So I think they might block that, because I've tried that, and I think they kind of blocked me a little bit.
Well, that was going to be my question. Is that, so? Say my neighbor John goes to his YouTube and he watches one of my videos 5 times. Is that 1 view or 5?
I think it's 5. It's 5 different ones.
No, if he watches that with his IP, you'll get credit for it one time. He can't watch it again, and you'll get credit a second time.
I
So
don't
if there's
remember how I
1,000
did
views
this.
on my video. That's 1,000 unique views.
Yeah.
I don't know how I remember how I did this, but I know years ago I set up through my provider. I have a rolling IP, so my IP changes every time. It's always different. So that may be a
but see, the only thing is, well, see, that could be a good thing, but that rolling IP happens whenever you restart your computer, no?
and I shut it off every day.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, well, the IP is basically it's locked into your network of your IP or of your Wi-Fi or if you got cable internet or whatever.
Right.
So it's going to recognize if you're watching that again, it's going to say, okay, he's already watched this once, and so it's not going to give that person extra watch time. It's really, but and two, like when you upload your own video, your IP address counts as watch time. So play your videos back.
I have a question then, because I'm on my other tab and I'm looking at my analytics for the channel, and if you go under the reach tab, there is views and then there is unique viewers.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I've got 688 total video views right now and 374 unique viewers.
Yeah, unique viewers are the people that sees your videos in the suggestion of the video.
You're watching videos, you
click
on
on
the
it
left
and
hand side,
watch
right
it.
hand side, you see like the little videos.
Right.
You know,
So basically what that's talking about is there's 400, almost 400 people who've come and watched videos, and some of them have watched more than one. Is that what that means?
Yeah, and these unique viewers also are people like if you share it out on like Facebook, people will click on it whether they have an account or not. They can watch it and they will get added into the unique category.
Okay.
That's how that works. Yeah.
Johnny.
Hey, John.
Somebody's
I
got
didn't
the
even know I
channel
was on. I was sleeping. No, I was listening.
You sound like my co-host, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's
Right.
got
The
their
show goes to sleep.
channel playing or something because you can hear the feedback.
Is that me? I'm giving the feedback off of my Bluetooth.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
I'll shut the I couldn't hear, so I went and got the Bluetooth speaker so I could hear. So I can hear you now, but that's screwing you up. So
Yeah.
Just make sure it's behind your microphone.
Yeah, or mute, you can mute his microphone while he's not talking.
Oh, because that's the setup.
Now
I
I
have.
think
a
I
live
lost you
mic,
guys. Lost
but
everybody.
my live speakers are way behind the
There you
microphone,
go.
so it can't pick it up. It's
There
like
you go. Now
doing
I
a gig
got you
on
back.
stage.
I can barely hear you though.
You know, Paul, you look familiar.
Well, everybody knows no class.
FBI's most wanted.
I was thinking
you
Joe
see my
Walsh.
picture at the post office, maybe.
No, it's something like a late night scary show. What is it called?
Oh, that was
the
Tales from the
Crypt Keeper?
The Crypt Keeper. That's
Oh,
the Crypt Keeper.
See, you missed a golden opportunity there, Paul, because whenever someone says to me, man, you look familiar, I always say, wow, you must watch a lot of pornography.
hey, $20 was $20, but I gave that up when I got married.
Hey, you know, another thing that we can do as well is when we're live like now, if everybody shares it, it will go live on your feed. So you got to help out too. You know, the more
I was
more
trying to figure
live.
out how to do that. I'm a little disappointed. What do we got? Like 50 or 60 viewers in here right now?
I don't know.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hey, Mom, I love you.
Hi, Arco's mom and dad.
Yeah.
I'm going to Disney World.
Yeah. Please
So,
take him out to Arco. He's being mean to me, Mom.
So yeah, think about this.
Nah,
If
no
all
Disney
of us-
World. They take your fingerprints.
Oh,
right.
Do they?
So listen, if all of us shared the live stream right now, it would go live to all your people.
Where do you,
yeah, I shared it.
I mean, at the bottom
then-
of StreamYard.
And then you tell your friend.
How do we do that?
Well, you click share down below on the actual YouTube page and copy the link, and you share it to your YouTube or to your Facebook rather. And
Oh, you've already lost me. Can someone do that for me?
No,
please?
no. Actually, like say if you're on your Facebook and you see it playing live on Facebook,
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
share that live feed, then it goes live on yours
Okay.
as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it now. I actually just did what I said, copied the YouTube link, shared it in my Facebook group and on Instagram.
Well, see, that would make people have to go click on it. But if you share it live, then all your people they'll see it live. You know what I mean?
All right.
They don't have to click
Oh.
on anything.
Let me do that right now.
Yeah, I shared
All
the
right.
YouTube
Well,
link,
I don't think I can do that without screwing something up here.
Yeah,
Oh,
Paul,
wait
you
a second.
just
Let me go
sit
here.
still, Paul.
God.
Okay, I see you
So,
there.
Chassis John, he's a regular here at Plan and Traffic, and he's a master fish and chassis builder. So, John, go ahead and introduce
Yeah, I
yourself.
build fish, right?
And drummer.
And drummer.
Yeah, absolutely. All of that stuff.
You know, this system here won't let me have all our people on. We've had 20, 30 people on at one time, but for some reason, this system, you know, we can't get a lot of people in. So I feel bad for the people that jumped out, and I really appreciate it. Thank you guys that jumped out for
thanks,
us.
guys.
Hey guys, I'm going to jump out for tonight, but that'll let somebody else come in, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Yeah, I'll talk to you in the morning, Bill.
Monday.
All
I
right.
was going to show you the 69. Come
Hey,
out.
did you see it? Did you see the video? I
Saw it.
started
Very
it.
nice. I like that.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
nice.
All right, brother.
All right,
Hey, you
take
guys.
care.
Have a good
Bye.
night. Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
All right. I think I did it.
Yeah, I just now shared the YouTube link to my group.
Oh, Sarah Edwards. I want to say what's up to Sarah. Everyone say what's up, Sarah Edwards. 1, 2, 3.
Wow, where's she
What's
at?
up, Sarah?
What's up, Sarah?
Hello, Sarah.
Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Sarah
Fritz.
is our
Fritz is her last name.
Sarah is our official cookie lady.
Yeah.
That's gonna be her new title.
That's right.
Sarah,
I thought that was Sarah Lee.
Even though she was at the wrong hotel.
yeah.
Oh, the Oreo cookie lady.
So can I put in a cookie request? I like sugar cookies.
No, she only does Oreo. Only Oreo.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
it.
chocolate chip, but I'll take Oreo.
I just ordered a case of Oreo cookies for the Raising the Roof. event.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. I will be going into a sugar coma. Woohoo!
Hey,
I've
listen.
got, so I guess we can talk about some of the event stuff. I've got hot coffee catered in for Saturday morning for sure, and they're also on standby for Sunday morning, depending on if we're gonna have a working day on Sunday or if Sunday's gonna be a hangout day. And then I'm gonna have probably 6 or 7 dozen donuts here from two different bakeries. I'm thinking
Awesome.
3 dozen from the Landmark, which is a bakery right around the corner from my house, and then another 3 dozen from a pretty famous place around here called White House Fruit Farms, and they're like world famous blueberry donuts and stuff.
Are we getting some glazed ones like Jason's eyes?
Wow.
That's messed up.
All right, so
I don't want to know all that.
yeah, all right. So we're talking about food. I got the show or the event hooked up with Super Clean. So if we need cleaning supplies, that'll be already provided. And
Sweet.
Yeah,
And they got the
man.
cool T-shirts, the purple T-shirts.
yeah, they didn't
yeah.
ask anything about what size shirts or colors. They just said they're going to send some products, and we'll get to use it there at the event. So
And we have dinner. Dinner will be covered. We have a sponsor for the dinner. So we're still deciding on what we want to go with. If we want to go with lobster tail or hot dogs. So it'll be somewhere in between.
Scallops and hot dogs.
I don't do lobster tail, so hot dog's fine with me.
So
Filet mignon ramen.
so we got that covered.
That's
We
what's
just
up.
got to figure out what we
Ramen
want to
noodles,
do.
that's it. Use some chicken
I'll bring
flavor.
y'all base seasoning.
Yeah, so we just got to figure out what's the best route to go for the food. But my wife and her sister and some other ladies will be coming down to help us out. You know, help feed us. So we're gonna have a good time.
My good buddy Scott is a manager and part owner of a local pizza chain here, Bruno Brothers. And he said if we end up doing pizza on Saturday, that he'll hook us up.
All right.
Cool.
This is
Yeah,
sounds
now
like
I wanna-
bandwagon, man.
You guys
I
are gonna
wanna-
have a good time. I'm getting
Yeah,
jealous.
we're not coming, John.
John,
John
John, get
is
on up
he
there, buddy.
snowed-
Come on.
I
John
wish I
snowed
could.
in. He
I
can't
wish
get
I
out.
could. I can't
Come
get
on
in,
up.
man.
John,
I'm
He's
locked in.
he can't get in. He got hit with a winter storm in Florida. He said. So.
Yeah,
Too much
yeah.
sun.
12
Yeah.
inches of sun.
hey Ray,
Yeah.
we need.
I'm
we
locked
need you
into
to come
stuff.
too,
I
Ray.
got stuff going on.
Ray, hey, Ray's a professional at everything. He's an electrician. He's a carburetor guy. Ray, come on over, buddy. It's only 6
dabble.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be great to have you, Ray.
Yeah.
Six
Great.
hours.
Awesome.
You could host your show from here Sunday at noon.
There
Wow.
you go.
Yeah, there you go. And we
He's
can
got
all
enough
be
trouble-
on it.
Enough trouble hosting his show from the studio.
Sometimes, yeah.
That's
That's right.
Oh shoot, that's funny. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a great thing. So.
And this is our man Brian. He's the tool man. So if you
There
need
he
any
is.
tools,
And
Yes.
oh, man.
Hey guys,
Santa
how y'all
Claus.
doing? Yeah, I know. I gotta get rid of this. Next time you see me, it's all gonna be gone. Don't
And it'll be
worry.
back in 3 days. What's the difference?
I know.
Hey, so I heard that Matco was gonna supply all of us with toolboxes and tools.
Yeah. Good luck. I wish.
Go.
I really wish they could supply me with some. So.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
I'll bring
Brian.
that up. Last week he bit my head off because I made a crack about him supplying some air hammers.
Oh yeah, he chewed my head off too. So
No, come on, guys.
Well, Brian gets feisty at night. You know, it's just, the later
Yeah.
it gets, he gets a little edgy sometimes.
Yeah.
No,
Let's
just
talk about Mustangs.
it's come on, don't even start. We're not even going there.
See?
Come on.
It just
Doesn't take
showed up.
much.
When you guys get done with Lewis,
hey
and after
Terry,
you've worked him over,
fist bump,
I
Terry.
got a
fist
Mustang
bump.
over here. You guys can come put back together for me.
hey,
You know,
you never know. We might roll up.
Echo, man, what territory are you out of? Where are you out of?
Me?
the Yukon.
Yes.
Oh, I'm out of Maryland. I'm in Silver Spring.
That's what I
now.
thought, because I was listening to you the other day, and you were talking about Mr. Tisher, and you were talking about dark cars.
Oh yeah, yep. I worked at Tisher, Porsche, Audi, BMW for 20 some years in my earlier life.
That's in Rockville,
Tisher was in Silver Spring.
Silver Spring.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, Paul, are you down in that area?
Yes, sir, I am.
Where are you at?
Okay.
I grew up in Silver Spring. I'm now in Southern Maryland in an area called Croom, just south of Upper Marlboro.
Oh yeah,
Not
yeah.
alone.
Yeah, I'm my area of running my route is basically in the middle of Montgomery County. I do Aspen Hill, Glenmont, Silver Spring, go out to Kensington, and then I'm down in Langley Park, Tacoma Park, Hyattsville.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's a rough area.
Over on YouTube, Iron Horse Garage said, "Is there going to be a group photo for the event?" And I believe the answer to that is there's going to be a lot. There's going to be photos and video and photos.
Prosthetic arms. And,
I know Heidi is planning on doing some photography, right, Arco?
Yep.
And then my good friend Andrew Bastian, he's a professional photographer, does a lot of automotive, and he actually does a lot of band photos and stuff too. He said he's free that day, so at least for the 29th, he's planning on stopping by and doing some still photography for us.
And I
spoke to Jason Voorhees and Batman. They both are planning on making an appearance. So
okay,
Batman. Yeah, they will be.
I don't know, Tyler. You might have to get a velvet rope. Rope this place off, man.
Yeah, we might have to.
Yeah, I got a production company coming too. So we'll get all of the media from his shots. So we'll have a lot of stuff, a lot of footage.
I know that when Paul Lyons and Heidi and I went to South Carolina, we got a lot of footage over there and had a blast, and it really helped out the YouTube channel too, because all the views on the videos and then people asking questions, and it just went on for a lot longer after that when we got back home. you know,
And
we
that's
kept sharing stuff and telling people what we were doing and whatever.
And that's a good point, Arco. I think it would be wise for us to maybe work up a schedule of videos for the event so that we can kind of, you know, share the love around between channels. I mean, a big channel like Outlaw Edge doesn't really need the help, but small channels like me and Mill Creek Fab could definitely use the help.
And Bill Cameron and
and playing in traffic.
Playing traffic.
I'm also getting a banner made with all our logos on it. So that'd be like the red carpet. We'll take a lot of photos there.
Yeah.
You know, so we're gonna be set up pretty good. We're gonna be.
So we could actually show up to the red carpet.
No class has to come up with a logo.
Yeah, we could do a Dennis Rodman on the red carpet or anything like that.
I mean, you definitely look like Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, because that would be great for a cover band.
Yeah,
I got the hair. I could do the Dennis Rodman. I got the hair for it.
Listen, I'm growing the hair out. The fro's gonna be it's gonna be huge.
All right.
Hey, I tell you what,
do more Bozo the Clown look.
Yeah, he gonna come in like working at the car wash. Yeah.
I tell you what, Joey, I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows Eddie Murphy. So we can get him here, maybe.
Cool. Call that note. You know someone, and see if they can get him here.
Yeah, I'll say.
Okay, so I gotta interrupt and ask Lewis, because I've been thinking about this. On the back part of the bus, when that roof goes straight up on the back, it's kind of hard to explain on here. But does on the back part of the bus around the curves by that exit door or emergency door, does the roof go straight up or is it angled like this?
It's angled.
Windows go up.
But where we're cutting is straight.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be right below that body line.
It's going to be right below that body line that starts to go up.
I think he's froze.
He is froze.
Yeah. They're praising the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Wait, Joey can't. Joey can't do it.
That's a good screenshot.
I did. I got him. I just screenshotted him.
Is that a field goal or what?
YMCA.
That's a fourth and a long one right there.
Oh, he's going to kill all of us when we get to Youngstown.
Oh my goodness! Look at this guy.
He's like, it was this big.
Is that what happens when you go fishing in Minnesota? You get fish this big?
That's how thick the ice is right now.
There's several ways to cut the bus, and out of all of the windows or all the videos I've watched, where we're going to cut it, I think, is the simplest way, where we don't have that curve that Arco was just talking about.
Yeah, I think you're going to be cutting right below that body line at the back, right?
That black line that's like right under the window, I guess, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, that has to come off, and then you cut right there, I think.
Oh, now I got to look at a different spot.
Hey, the YMCA's back.
Hey, we had the screenshot you, bro.
Oh, you're gonna have to go back and watch the replay because we were clowning on you pretty big.
So
that's actually something needs to be cut and used.
Never do that to you guys, man.
I'm gonna download this video and cut that out and use it as an intro. That's gonna be killer.
That's gonna be my desktop. That's gonna be a screensaver.
We should go back and clip that, just that 15 seconds, and use it in all of our raising the roof videos.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome.
So, Arco, let me finish answering your question.
Go ahead.
Before you froze. We're going to cut just below that line where it starts to tilt up. Wait, where's my camera? So right where it starts to tilt up, we're going to cut under that line. So we'll be still on flat, straight up and down surface.
But where it goes around both those corners in the back, I mean, there's still some metal fabrication that has to be done in there.
Yeah, what guys are doing is they're taking a big PVC pipe and they're bending the metal around that pipe to get that curve.
Mm-hmm.
But we're only gonna have maybe 12 or 13 inches of metal up and down, and then the curve around. So
Yeah.
they're small pieces on the back.
Gotcha.
Would it be 18?
All right,
Put 'em in a slip
Arco,
roller.
No.
My slip roller can do 14 inches. I
Yeah.
can bring my slip roller and it can do 14 inches.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You throw it in a slip roller, you get it done like that.
I think it'd be nice and clean looking in the back where it looks.
We can do that with the slip roller, or does the shop have a brake? Do we have an 8-foot brake or a 6-foot brake in the shop?
No, sir.
I might be
What
able to
kind
get
of
one.
freaking shop
Oh
is this? that we're going-
man, you got to get some tools, brother.
We're going primitive
I
here.
don't do sheet metal stuff, man.
Yeah.
Well, you are now, by God.
Yeah.
Tyler, it might be. I think it's lower because the metal that we're going up into we're covering up the old windows and down.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. If the roof is going up 18 inches,
It's still,
then
yeah, you're right.
you got to add 18 inches of material in the back
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise you're going to have a big air vent back there.
Hey, you gotta get the hot air out.
Yeah.
You need a vent for the stove.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're right, Tyler. I think it is. Yeah, it's gonna have to be. And the main part of bending the metal is gonna be in the transition from the front on the front part.
That's going to be a lot of fab work there. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what the guys are doing is they're using poster board and they're taping the poster board to get the curve and the angle. You know what I mean?
So I think we could
Oh,
probably
yeah.
just turn Paul and Arco and Chassis John, or wait, Chassis John's not coming. We can just
Yeah.
turn Paul and Arco loose on that front transition.
Yeah,
And let 'em-
Paul, he's showing it to us in the video right there.
Yeah, the slip
That's a
roller.
nice slip roller.
Yeah.
It's not as nice as you think. It's one from Eastwood, so it's mid shelf. It's
Yeah, but it's
you
good
can
for
see
doing
it's
intricate
not
work.
that big, but I've put a lot of through it.
Yeah.
And it does a very nice job as long as we're staying over 14 gauge, 18 gauge, 22 gauge. You're good, but you cannot put a piece of 14 through it.
But that's perfect for what we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
So we got someone who must be late to the show in the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
He said it's the reverse of a chop top. Fill me in. So
Yeah.
Lewis, you want to go over again real quick, kind of the brass tacks?
Well, before you do, I want to say that is Bad Tree Productions. He's got an awesome channel. If you guys want to check him out sometime. So go ahead.
Hey,
Lewis.
if you could put your YouTube channel in the chat, so we'll have the link. That'd work. What we're doing is I bought a 40-foot Bluebird International bus, and it's a school
Retired
bus.
school bus.
Yeah, retired school bus. We're gonna cut the
Scooty.
roof off and lift it 18 inches. I'm 6'5", so I figured I don't want to be bending over when I'm in the bus, so we got to lift it up.
Yeah,
That's
he's definitely 6'5". He's been in my shop and he had to duck to keep from hitting his head on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Everybody wants to be tall until they hit the head on stuff.
Right. You're also gonna put a subfloor in and
Yeah.
some extra ceiling insulation and stuff too, right?
Yeah, so
You're
I'm
planning
looking
on-
at
you're planning
probably
on cold climate driving and
5. No.
no
But
one size.
I'm chasing the sun, but I know
Okay.
sometimes
So
it's
you're
gonna
never
get
gonna see
cold.
Arco again, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just come to Florida and you're done chasing. Done.
So after the insulation subfloor and the floor, that's like 4 inches right there.
I don't
Yeah.
touch this one.
So
Yeah.
that's what we're doing.
So are
You may
you
wanna
sure
go
that we're
20
not going to have to
inches.
shorten this bus? Because, with this group of people, we might need to short bus.
No. It's Lewis's bus, not Joey's.
That's what
Yeah.
he's doing that. Think
Well,
about
hey, you know what? Broken crayons still work, all right? So I don't want to hear it.
a bunch of
It's not as fancy.
They said a broke clock is right 2 times a day.
Yeah, people don't like the way I preach, but hey, I don't like the way they don't preach. So there.
Remember that time we were going to take Joey kayaking and we figured he'd just go around in a circle?
Oh, that's so cruel.
Yeah, it's
What-
true.
I'm hard of hearing and I can't get my volume to go up. So maybe I'm glad I missed what Art.
I was thinking, all right, I'm going to have to tie a tow rope onto Arco's kayak so I can get down the river instead of going in circles.
You guys are terrible.
Terrible.
Oh,
I love it though. Hey, guys, don't ever think you're going to offend me about my arm. I'm a big jokester when it comes to that. that's how I overcame, is not letting it bother me.
Humor,
Well,
yeah.
if you ever want us to stop, Joey, just remember, hands up.
Yeah. All right, that's it. I've had enough.
This way.
From the bottom of my heart, I cannot stand you. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So hey,
Oh, boy.
if everybody can donate $1 so we can get Ray to come over and hang out later.
See, it's all about timing. I've been off for like 5 weeks, and now I got to go back to work. So
Yeah.
it's it's all about timing. That's the problem.
Well, January 28th, 29th, it's a weekend. You don't work weekends. So.
I do actually. I
Yeah, he
work on
does.
Saturday and I do the radio show on Sunday.
Yeah, well, you could do it at the shop.
That's possible. I have to buy a
That
laptop
would be
first.
great. You could interview all of us one at a time or all together.
Well, that's going to start happening this weekend because Tyler, I was looking to put something together with you, for this weekend, and Lewis is going to join you. So you two guys are going to be Sunday's guests.
Sweet.
I'll send you all the info. I'll
Raising
email
the
it.
roof. We can talk about
Yeah.
stunt team stuff. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about.
Yeah. Hey, Ray, you got pen and paper handy? I'm going to give you my email. And
do.
Send me an email, and I'll add you onto the update list when we do updates on this event.
Okay, shoot. What do you got?
It's Joey Collins 97200 at reborn.com.
And that's spelled ASSHOLE.
No, it's spelled 80 in Hebrew. It's ADHD.
All right, Joey Collins 97200 at reborn.com.
Yes, and the 97200 is 97 is the year I was electrocuted. 7200 is how many volts went through my body.
Oh,
I'm here to tell you about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
that's
so
so
don't let me.
so much like a guy I know back when I was in Long Island who's worked for Lilco. Same thing.
Yeah. Just don't let me be around power tools because
So do you drain batteries?
I have got so much energy in me, I will kill the freaking machine. Okay. But anyway.
And how did you get zapped?
Oh, I was working on a sign, and the boom truck collapsed and fell into an overhead power line, killed my coworker, and they didn't give me no hope to live either. But thankfully, I have a crazy Italian Pentecostal mother that I believe literally prayed me right out of death because I was on life support. I was in a coma. This went on for 31 days, and like the 32nd day, I was like, "Where am I?" And then the nurse is like, "Well, you're in a hospital." And then I noticed my arm, and I freaked out. And but then after that, this guy came out. I don't even know who he was. Came into my room. It was dark, and he came into my room, and he sat down on a chair with a guitar, and he started singing this song, "I Can't Even Walk Without You Holding My Hand." And that song just really touched me. And then I was transferred to another hospital in Lexington, Kentucky. It's a rehabilitation hospital, and my brother is pushing me down the hall in a wheelchair, and I just broke down crying. And he's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "Why did God do this?" He looked at me, he says, "God didn't do this. The devil wanted to kill you. And God saved you." And from that moment on, a fire was lit to never, ever allow this to bring me down. And I've used it to basically smack the devil in the face with. And like my business, high voltage electronics, I used the very thing he tried to kill me with to smack him in the face.
There you go.
That sign behind you is plugged into your butt, right?
No, actually, that is not. I charged it before the show, and it's getting a little dim. I may have to log out. And,
When you
So
tell
what
that
I got from the story is that you stopped talking for 30 days straight.
it was 31 days. I was on life support for 17 days. I was in a coma for 31 days. But after I came off life support, I was able to move my mouth. I don't know any of this. I was not conscious to understand or even know I was doing this. But I was talking to people that had already died and gone on.
Wow.
Like they were right. And I remember those images, like my grandmother and grandfather, and talking to them. I don't remember it actually it happening in real life, I guess you could say. So it was like I was at death's gate, and then my mom stood in prayer and my dad stood in prayer for me and never gave up. And the doctors kept telling him, look, just prepare yourself. He's not going to live. And my mom would just shake her head. She's like, well, you need to read Romans 8:28, because all things work to the good for those who love the Lord. And this man laying here loves the Lord, and he's going to make it, and he's going to declare the word of God. And that's what happened. So,
yep.
Wow.
All glory to God.
Yep, absolutely.
Look, I have a completely irreverent question to ask you though, because some people say that they're going to rip somebody's arm off and beat somebody with it, but you decided that you're going to do that with your arm to the devil.
Exactly.
So now you have so your arm's down there kicking his ass.
Yeah, and actually, I always go around saying, hey, I'm going to hair lift the devil and charge hell with a water pistol. I seriously believe that when I wake up in the morning and put my feet on the floor, the devil starts trembling, because he knows that no matter what he throws at me, I'm going to laugh at it. I can literally honestly say that every trial that's ever come into my life, at first it was hard because I didn't understand it and didn't know how to battle these things. But after so many of them, I got experience at it and learned that no matter what comes at me, I already know that I'm going to win that battle, and I don't fret it. I just let it go, and that's how all of us really should be. No matter what happens to us in our life, there's always going to be a victory at the end of it. Always.
Yeah. It might even be, you might witness to a nurse or just one person you come across during that journey could affect somebody else's life too. Yep. God working.
Absolutely.
When we first met him, that's one of the things that Heidi and I told him. We're like, hey, man, you don't realize how much of an inspiration you are to other people, Yeah. And I mean, the first 10 minutes I talked to the guy on the phone, I wanted to beat him up. And that was because that's the night he called and told us he was asking, he goes, is this Minnesota Outlaw Customs? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I need a robotic prosthetic arm built. And I'm like, who the hell is this idiot? So I hung up on the dude, and then he calls me back, and then here we are,
Yeah. Oh, I did. I was watching. This was back when my channel was called Real HV Archery, which was high voltage. And I shoot archery with one arm. I competed for 7 years nationally. I don't know. I can't even tell you how many first, second, third place championships I have shooting and competing against perfectly healthy people and beating them with one arm. My nickname in archery they called me Statue, because when I was at full draw, I didn't move until I released the arrow. Well, some of them called me the one-arm pistol packing underwear bandit, because I did walk out of my camp one day at an archery event, and I was wearing my boxer shorts, and I had my pistol and the belt wrapped around my strap with a tank top on. And
oh my
God. So they're like, hey, look,
that's
it's the
mental image
that I could have done.
Yeah, I know. It's
Thanks for the visual, Joey.
I'm like, hey, listen.
Is this what we have to look forward to when you're at the event?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I'm the only one allowed to be naked in my building.
That's why we're not doing an Airbnb.
But I want to say this: don't ever feel like you're going to offend me. Seriously, I don't get offended by that stuff. The only thing I ever get upset over is when somebody messes with my religion or mocks my God or my patriotism, whatever. You do that, you're done. I don't want nothing to do with you. But other than that, we're good.
I'd much rather make fun of disabilities anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. And the thing is, when I meet someone else that has a disability, I immediately click with that person, and man, we could share some great stories.
So I will say that everyone I've ever met with a major physical disability, I have a good friend who is a paraplegic. I have another pretty good buddy who lost a leg in a car accident, and they all have one thing in common, and that is a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
Not just about their accident or
Yeah.
whatever, but in general, they're all really down to earth, and they just have a great sense of humor, and they can joke with anybody about anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm that way. I don't let it, I don't know how to explain it. I really can't put words with it. I have this one quote. It's an original quote, and it's basically this. It doesn't matter what happens to us, or wait, I'm saying it wrong. It's not what happens to us that determines our future. It's our attitude and how we handle it.
Yep.
And you can find that quote on my Facebook, right on my bio. It's amazing how everything happened the way it did prior to the accident. I was already studying that word of attitude and what it really truly means. And I didn't remember none of this until later on after the accident. My mom had to help me flip through my notebook because my hand was so bandaged I couldn't use it. And I saw this written in big words, attitude, and then these paragraphs below it. And I started reading all this, and it started coming back to me. And I used that along with, what my brother had told to me in the hallway at that hospital. And then my mother wrote a journal every single day about this, which is absolutely amazing. I actually have it published online. And but the thing is, just don't ever give up. You might be disabled like Arco mentally, and but yet don't give up. Don't give up. He didn't. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. and John here, he's got one video on his channel, and I absolutely love that video. It's just amazing.
It's like so amateur.
It's so
He said quality over quantity. That's John.
Yeah, and the way you're just a natural in front of the camera. You really should make some new videos and put them up, because I absolutely love. I shared your stuff out on all my social media. Your one video.
He likes you way better than most of the rest of us.
Yeah, I don't really. I watched Mr. Longshot only because he's part of this build. After the build, he's done. I'm out here with him.
As soon as he's not using my cherry picker anymore, unsubscribe.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Joey's every single
I'll
morning.
be there tomorrow to get it.
Oh, shit.
Every single morning, I'll text Joey. I'll say, "Hey, good morning," or something, and he'll be like, "Hey, good morning," and then I'll say some smart ass comment like, bitch asshole or something like that, and he'll be like, "Not today, Satan." And then Wayne Reynolds will pop up, literally as he's telling me blocked. He'll put blocked on the message. Wayne Reynolds will pop up and he'll say, "I was just talking to Joey and he just blocked me again."
Hashtag who is Wayne Reynolds?
Hey, man.
But I want to tell you though, before we go any farther, the conversation Arco was talking about when we first ever talked is he was on one of his videos talking, and Heidi mentioned their Facebook page. So I automatically went there and searched for it. I found it, and I was like, "Oh, there's a phone number. I'm gonna call it to see what happens." I called, and Heidi actually answered. I was like, "Yeah, y'all do them prosthetic arms there? I need one made." And she's like, "Hold on," and puts Arco on the phone, and I did the same thing to him. Next thing you know, click.
I do all the weirdos.
Yeah, and then Jack Collins, that's going to be at the event. I met him over on Arco's channel, and ever since then I've been calling him my lost daddy because he's got the same last name as me. But anyway, go ahead.
We should probably get back to talking about the bus, because I think they're singing a song in the chat.
They are. Singing The Joker by Steve Miller.
Yep. I'm reading I'm like, what the heck?
Anybody have any questions that I might be able to answer on it?
Did we ever
Well-
figure out what we're going to do about the windshield?
Yeah,
You know-
I was going to bring that up, Arcus. So thank you. We discussed the miscellaneous tools and equipment that we're going to be bringing with us, what everyone's bringing to the table. We've talked about these back corners, and I got the slip roller I can bring. And if it needs to be longer than what goes to the slip roller, we can still make the pieces up without any issues. But when it comes to the window or the above the windshield, and I've been looking at a couple different ones, my mindset keeps going back. And Lewis, it's your boss, it's your show. We're just there to help you out and to do what you want done. But I'm really liking the idea of a window in that filled-in panel up above at like a 45-degree angle that's on a hinge backwards, so you get ventilation through it, and possibly two individuals that can open and close with a line down the middle between the two pieces of glass. Again, it's your bus, it's your call.
Right.
But
now, what I've
this
seen,
is all something fairly simple in my mind to do, and would look badass.
right?
If you wanna let me share my screen real quick, I can put up that picture that's in the email.
Go ahead.
Hurry up.
Yeah. Well, Lewis, while he's doing that, are we inviting any other channels to take part in this, or?
Wait a minute.
I want to make a recommendation. Bad Tree Productions, but it's your call.
Well, I just what we were talking about earlier is having too many people in the garage. I mean,
yeah,
our space is. I mean, we got a big space, but I don't want people just standing around looking at us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
If I had more money, I would have more supplies, and we could do some more stuff.
Right.
Yeah, we want to avoid having too many chiefs and not enough Indians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm the head chief.
If you look at the picture on your screen, the gray areas on the bus are basically where we'll be filling in with sheet metal.
Mhm.
And then on the side view, you can see up here, that's pretty much what we're going to end up doing, right, Lewis? Is
Yes.
going all the way to the front edge with the transition.
Well, actually, not all the way to the front edge. There's a hat channel that runs across that, so it's probably 4 inches, 4 to 5 inches before it gets to the edge.
So kind of like 2/3 of the way up above the driver, then, like
Yeah.
right where my mouse is now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Heidi was just saying it'd be a problem if you put a window up there if it was that far forward, because the sun would just be blasting you in the face going down the road, you know?
Now, what people are doing is they're taking hatchbacks from SUVs, like the older ones that are flat in the back. Like I seen today, like the older Escapes, Ford Escapes. They have a flat panel with the door that opens up, and what they're doing is they're cutting the metal around the door or around the window and turning it upside down, laying it into that transition, and then you can still open it because they're taking all the whole frame and everything.
Yeah. I got a quick question. Have you ever checked out the 2000 to 2006 GMC and Suburban, like Yukon type deals? The back window?
No, but I think that might be
nice.
There's a bunch of those at You Pull It right now too.
Oh, is it? I think it might be too big.
Okay.
Might be too
Well,
wide.
I think I know where one is, which is next door. I sold to a guy and he's scrapping it out. If that window's still there, I'll get a picture and measure it. And
Yeah.
if
Now
that
we'll
would
need
work,
we'll need the frame and all the locking mechanism and all that, the whole piece.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's
Hey-
all there and it works. So
Hey, Tyler, did you do that rendering?
No, I did it.
No, that was somewhere. I think Lewis found that online.
No,
Yeah.
I did it. I made it.
Oh, you made it.
Yeah, that's my bus.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't use it in my video because I thought you just found it online. Well, now I knew better.
No, I did.
Yeah, there's a question there also in chat from Wooden Metal Garage. Is there a donation link?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yes, on Playing in Traffic, I think we have a Patreon on there. Let me make sure.
Somebody,
You have like
wanted to say, too,
you have like a PayPal or a Cash App for a one-time donation, Lewis, instead of a subscription.
Yeah. Or you can do a one time on the Patreon, or you can we can do Cash App as well.
I wanted to say too, if you guys haven't checked out everybody in the chat, what the hell? If everybody hasn't checked everybody out on the chat, sub everybody's channels. Go and sub everybody's channels or whatever too. Wooden Metal Garage, Long Shot Performance, Michael Knight, all these channels that are on here, all of ours that are on the screen. That way we can share the wealth with the YouTube. But I just subbed your channel, Bad Tree Productions. I got you. I subbed you up right now. So everybody else I'm already subbed to.
I'm not subbing to you, Arco. So
shut up, Joey.
Terry still hasn't subbed my channel, so
the only reason I'm going to Ohio is to beat up Joey. Hey, you left the door open.
What?
Bring it on, son.
What?
I'll get you in a headlock and beat you.
Hey, it's warm outside. She can leave the door open.
Arco, he'll give you one hell of a noogie.
Oh yeah.
Hey, there's a lot of work on that bus, though. I was looking, thinking about that. The side panels, the rivets, the window above, the driver that we're talking about doing. Obviously raising the roof, moving the stairs, or building the stairs. Whatever we're gonna end up doing there, putting that door in.
The main problem is we're gonna run out of space for hands-on. I figured, 2 or 3 people per side, maybe 2 or 3 per side inside at the same time. I mean, and that's really it. We're going to be maxed out right around 10 people.
Yeah.
How many welders do we have?
Well,
not people that are capable of welding. Equipment. How many pieces of equipment do we have?
I have one TIG welder and one pretty large MIG welder. It'll be hard to turn it down far enough to do sheet metal.
I got wire. You got to get some thin wire.
Yeah, I got 045 or 035 wire in it.
That's for big stuff.
You need like 31 or 32.
You need like 23 or something.
Yeah,
it's also a 350 amp MIG welder.
My nudge.
I have a stick welder. That might help. Small.
Yeah, you can leave that at home. Send that over to the Smithsonian.
Wooden Metal Garage in chat. I posted the link for Playing in Traffic in chat. You can check that out there. And to answer your question, William, at Iron Horse Garage, no, I do not. So shut up.
Now we need to know the whole question.
One of the things too is Yes Welder has been sponsoring us a lot of stuff. Welding helmets, plasma cutters, welders, all kinds of good stuff. Our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So I will have Heidi try to reach out and talk to them and tell them, hey, we're going to be doing some stuff in Ohio on all these channels.
Yeah.
And
I reached out to
my
TIG welder is an Everlast, and I reached out to Everlast, seeing if they would sponsor me some kind of deal on, because I need a smaller MIG, something that'll do smaller material.
Yeah.
And
my 110 Lincoln
lives and stuff that we're doing this week, I figure I can point to these videos and say, look, this is going to be big. You want in on it.
Talk to Eastwood about that too.
Yeah.
Talk to Eastwood. And I mean, I'll bring my little welder with me. It's been through some abuse. Hopefully it could survive the trip up and back.
It's seasonal.
But that's what I'm running is the 10-pound spool of 023. And it's a great 110 welder. So as long as there's a gas supply or a tractor supply or some place that we can get gas and
I can actually
welding
work
supplies.
If you tell me what you need ahead of time, we can work with. There's a local family-owned welding supply business here that sponsors my stunt team. That's Buckeye Welders in Newton Falls. I can talk to them, and then there's also Youngstown Oxygen. They do a lot of welding stuff too.
Yeah, because that's the problem with me is I could bring my welders, both of them, or all 3 of them, and my plasma cutters, both of them. But the thing is the tanks. I can't bring my tanks with me, man.
Yeah, I can bring the welder, but I'm not going to transport the bottle.
Well, we can get my welder and tank over there. It's good for sheet metal. It's the Lincoln 140 HD 110 welder, and that thing can be dialed way down for sheet metal.
And
I have one of those here right now. I'm borrowing it from the stunt shop.
If you send me the the bottles or what you need, I could probably get the bottles because we have Youngstown propane here that we can get.
Well, I use Argon 7525 on mine.
75-25 Oregon.
Yeah, that's what we use too. So
60-pound bottle or a 60-foot or an 80-foot bottle will fit nice on my cart.
Yeah, mine is
and then a 10-pound spool of 023.
I think you can actually see my welder right behind me. My welding jacket's draped over it. But, anyway.
Yeah. So anyone planning on bringing a welder, email the reply to the email chain that Joey sent out with what you need to be here for you, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, and I'll also send out an update email in the morning about this live and ask everybody please reply with what they're going to be doing and bringing. And then Ray, if you would email me so I can add you on the list. So,
already done.
Good deal. Thank you.
All right, fellas, I'm going to be jumping out for the night. My battery keeps saying that I'm gonna lose you, so I'll leave the laptop on so I can keep you playing in the background. But I'm gonna have to jump out of here.
All right.
Okay,
and
Paul.
I'll respond to the email with what gas is needed and the bottle and the equipment that I'm bringing. And Arco, I'm sure I'll have a couple phone calls with you between now and the end of the month.
Love you, brother.
We're gonna have
everyone good night.
We're gonna have another live
stream.
Stay
Stay safe,
night.
and we'll be talking again soon.
Next Sunday we're having another live, bro. So we'll see you then.
I'll be able to figure this out a lot better by then.
Yeah. See you, Paul. Have a good night.
All right.
I'm also going to be heading off, gentlemen. As always, every one of you guys.
Whoa. I got it. Where'd you go? There he is. Listen, Terry, the truck thing, you know, the truck. Yeah. What do you want to do about that, bro?
What are we going to do? We got to talk about that.
Yeah, I need to talk to you. We got to get on that because I got to know if we are towing that for you over there or if we're bringing it or what do you want to do?
Oh, man. I mean, that would help me out. But we'll talk about that. I'll give you a call tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Like 5 o'clock in the morning.
That's fine. We'll be on.
It'll be 4.
Yeah, I'm up too.
Yeah.
I'm always.
No. You know what? I take that back because you're going to call me at 5 o'clock.
Here's the thing. It'll be on Facebook, and there'll be 11 of us there waiting for Terry to answer.
Like yesterday. Yeah.
You know what?
Got a call.
I'm up running credit cards.
You got a phone call. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Brian's up running everybody's credit card and robbing them for stuff they didn't buy.
That's it.
But no, we're gonna work that out. We're gonna talk and everything like that. Gentlemen, and Heidi, I hear you in the background. I hear you, girl. There you go. Always be easy, Ray. You know what's up.
Got it, Terry.
You know, Johnny boy, everyone. Yeah, you too, Brian. I see you out there.
I love you too. Come on now. Even though we got the picture of the Brady Bunch going on right here.
Yeah, we're Hollywood Squares. What are you talking about?
Hollywood Squares. Yeah, Tyler's Whoopi Goldberg.
Looks just like her.
All right. See that jokes.
I'm just saying, man. You know, she was always a senator.
Hey, cover man, I've enjoyed talking to you a lot, and I'm glad we met. And going to be seeing you soon, man.
You know it. We're going to do this, man. It's going to be fun.
Love it, brother.
Back at you. Back at you.
All right, bro.
You know, we're going to kidnap Ray. We're going to get him. We're going to 18 kidnap him. I'm telling you. He's going up there.
Oh, you're going to be Mr. T?
Ray, we got to kind of knock him out.
Well, you said 18, so I just thought you were going to have a black van and just going to be Mr. T.
You see,
Brian,
you're implying that I'm
I
not.
love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah.
Terry,
I'm sorry, Ray. What is that?
I said you're implying that I'm not willing, but like we were saying before, I'm retiring this year, and even after I retire, I'm still working on Saturday. And I'm still working on Sunday. So
yeah, I know you are because I'm a twofer. I was on your show twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Terry,
I have to vouch for him.
So my traveling plans got to be during the week.
Yeah. So if we're going to kidnap Brian, Terry's going to be Mr. T. Jason can be Murdoch. We'll just put the whole A team together and get a black van and head down wherever he's at. Yeah. Take all of his Matco tools and him.
Just take the truck, the keys in it. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, you're coming too, though.
Oh, that's fine. My bags are packed. My wife's already packed them up. Don't worry.
I'd rather be watching
a game of spades. You got your bags packed.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, you're all welcome.
Gentlemen.
All right, brother. Take care.
Bye, Terry.
Good
All right, Terry, I'll
night.
hit you up
Good
tomorrow.
night. Man, Arco, yes, we'll be talking. Yes.
Sounds good, brother.
Later.
Talk's cheap. You got to make a move.
Lewis, what's going to be the overall height of this vehicle when it's done?
11.2.
I was gonna say no higher than 11.5 because that's how tall my door is.
The bus right now is 9.5, and we're going 18 inches.
Yeah, you may not fit through some bridges on Long Island.
You wouldn't fit under the bridge.
Let me tell you a story. I picked up some cars at Unique Whips.
Yep.
And I'm coming down whatever that expressway is, and I had an enclosed trailer on a pickup, and people was next to me going,
yeah.
I was like, what? I was on that thing, and I was about to hit some bridges. I had to get off.
Oh, you got on a parkway.
Yeah.
Well, you're not supposed to be on a parkway. Yeah,
you were on the Southern State Parkway.
Yeah.
Listen,
if you went to Unique, you wound up on the Southern State.
Right.
Yeah.
She's on the South Shore. Yeah.
So wait, listen to this.
That is bad news.
This is an 05, and the GPSs were just coming out. So I'm using the GPS on a phone, and it sent me down that way.
Sure.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, back then they couldn't distinguish what was commercial and what was parkway.
They still have trouble. There's still
we
trouble.
take it for granted, man. But in 05, the phones were still.
You're lucky you didn't have a DOT guy stop you on that one.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I got a ticket for like $85 because I got caught with my dually. Just driving my dually on the parkway.
Yeah, I had a dually with a trailer.
Which is utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you can't drive a
boy.
dually on the parkway over there, but
you couldn't even drive a pickup truck. You couldn't drive a pickup or obviously no commercial vehicles. But I was going to buy an El Camino for work, and I couldn't drive it up the parkway to work.
Why?
It's an open vehicle.
It's a truck.
It's considered a truck, an open body.
New York's got some like really stupid rules.
But they changed that. I mean, now you can have pickup trucks on the parkway. I'm not sure about the dualies, but you can have pickup trucks, El Caminos.
Probably anything over 10,000.
That may be it. Yeah.
I was in a dually with an enclosed trailer.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
I go through some
Speaking
neighborhoods.
about low bridges, I was flipping through YouTube.
Oh,
and it was
there's a couple cool channels on there.
Well, it was a. Every now and then I see these YouTube videos that have to do with trains, you know, freight trains and stuff. So, you know those freight cars that they move cars around the country in?
Talking about like peeled the top off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. This freight train's cruising through, and it was a steel bridge that was about 2 feet too low. And by the time the engineer got the train stopped, he had taken the top off of like 25 of those transporters and literally destroyed the roofs of every car on the top level.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that video, man.
And there was a camera. There was like just a camera sitting on the bridge watching what's going on. And you're seeing these railroad cars coming under this bridge, and the top was peeling back, you know, and the train was going like 5 miles an hour, but it took forever for the thing to stop because it's so big and heavy. Wow. I couldn't believe the damage that they did.
Yeah, that guy was pretty sure he got fired.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Somebody got fired.
Well, think about it though. Okay,
Unless
you're the engineer, but you're not
Somebody
the one that's
robbed him.
programming the routing.
Right.
Okay?
Somebody sent him the wrong way. Yeah.
Yeah. And it could have been one of those deals where, you know, he's coming around a blind turn and there's a bridge. So what are you going to do? You can't blame the engineer and the conductor on that deal. That's somebody threw the wrong siding on that freight train.
Here's the thing. If I was to build a bridge over a train track, I would have to think that I would look up how tall trains are.
Yeah,
before I build the thing.
The problem with that is over a period of time, how old the bridge is or what was there.
Yeah.
I mean, because we have problems. We have overpass here that will actually tell you, especially when they started changing the height of vehicles. and changing stuff, like I said, they don't, they don't realize in time in the future what would be, and then they make something. We have a firehouse here that they got when they ordered a new fire engine, a hook and ladder. It came and it didn't fit inside the firehouse. Just because how old the firehouse was, and this is what was available. Of course, they buy, so then they had to have this big tent thing out front until they rebuilt the firehouse to go around this new fire engine. You know what I'm saying? So,
Michael Poinski on Facebook just made a comment. He said, "Common sense is not so common today."
Well, that's true.
No kidding.
Amen to that, brother.
I've also heard of municipalities where they would repave the road without stripping it and stripping it first. Now they raise the level of the road every time, essentially making the bridges shorter. How stupid is that?
There's a bridge in Santa Mariches, right off of Sunrise Highway, and it's where Montauk Highway branches off.
I know the bridge.
And it goes down, and then it comes up.
Yeah.
And it's right there in Santa Mariches.
Yep.
And there's a freaking accident over there every day. They go in there and they pave, and now there's less and less.
Is that the one?
Tried to flatten it out so it wouldn't flood.
There's a YouTube channel of someone who literally has a webcam out their window at some bridge, and it's like every day almost. It seems like there's a truck that goes under there, and
that's the one I was talking about, Tyler. I know maybe it's in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I think
because you can see the roadway kind of goes down.
Right.
The roadway kind of goes down a little bit under the bridge, and it's just truck after truck after truck.
And I think that bridge is like 11.2.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, it just rips the whole roof right off. Yeah,
totally.
Some people go through slow, and then other guys charge it. It's great because you see all sorts of crazy crap.
Yeah, I want to interrupt for a minute. William from Iron Horse Garage sent me a text. He said that I'm bringing a little welder. His name is Jason, and that he looks like a 12-year-old Asian boy. That's what he said. I swear that's what he said. I got the text right here. Jason, you want to respond to that?
I have no response. I don't know what to say.
You just said he was going to be Murdoch. No, come on. If you look like a 12-year-old Asian boy.
Well, I'm just going by what William said in the chat or in the text. Here, look. See if you can read it.
Bad Tree, where?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Hey, Bad Tree, what country are you from? Or did you mean to say county?
Oh.
Yeah, I think that might be county instead of country, right?
Yeah. You guys were talking about poor planning, though. I worked on a construction site in Sacramento, California, and we spent 3 years building this giant recycling center. And the first truck, this was all built out by engineers. The first big rig that came down there to get loaded, and it's like 30 feet high, and they dump the garbage over the side into these big rigs, and then they fold the tarp over and drive out. The first truck that drove down in there turned and got stuck, and they could not get the truck out of there because they didn't give them enough room to get out of the damn place.
Nice.
3 years, bro. Millions and millions of dollars in this place. Yep.
That'll do it.
Happens all the time.
All right. So I guess anything raising the roof related before I hop off of here, because it's almost 11 p.m.
No, go to bed, little baby.
I need my beauty sleep, man. I don't want to look like
you ain't lying. Holy
you
balls.
Definitely need that, no doubt.
See, Louis, the after show got kind of a connotation a while ago about being a tough place to be because of the way things get. That's nothing compared to this stuff, man.
Yeah,
this is a hard crowd.
Yeah, I stay up late one night.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Listen, people.
Hey Ray, I was going to ask you actually about Sunday. Yep. Is that going to be a phone call, or do you use the computer, or what?
Well, we do it both ways, and I could do it either way. What I could do is my co-host is in Connecticut, so I have him on a Zoom meeting, and he goes through my audio board, and the audio goes out over the radio and over the internet. So you and Louis can come in on the Zoom call if you want. I'll send you the link.
Okay.
And then it's just the audio that goes out, not the video, so you don't have to worry about
wearing clothes.
Looking, yeah, you can do whatever you want. Right, because we don't.
Well, just like this live, just like this live, you got to be dressed from the waist up, from the waist down.
Yeah,
Don't stand up.
I'm only dressed from the waist up, and
That's it, huh?
Oh man.
Well,
Yeah.
honestly, I didn't see anything, so I feel sorry for his future girlfriend.
Yeah.
Put that 6-shooter away.
yeah, it's like Barney Fife. Only got but one bullet.
All right, one bullet.
Yeah, and you don't even know how to fire that one.
Yeah, I keep it in my pocket. So.
So Tyler, I'll email you, and Lewis, I'll email you too. So check your. I'll send you a text when I email you because I know you don't see it too much.
I was about to say it.
I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And then you guys
Dad,
will have everything.
Patrick gave you a compliment, Ray. He said you got a great radio voice.
Oh, thank you. That's yeah. Goes with
I
the
agree.
radio.
I agree.
I've never.
I have a question for you guys. So, a while back, approximately 5 years ago, I stopped listening to NPR. And how long before that was Car Talk off the radio?
Car Talk went off the radio when Tom died.
Right.
That was
Click and clack.
2013 jumped into my head, but it may be a little later than that.
Yeah, I missed that show.
I was always a fan of their limousine driver, the Russian pick up and drop off.
You know what? And I'll tell you something. Chris and I would go to car shows and things, and people would come up to us and say, "Hey, you're those guys on the radio." I'm like, "Well, yeah, we are." And they're like, "Yeah, you're from Boston, right?" I'm like, "Do we sound like we're from Boston?" Like, Christ, you got two Italians here from New York. You think we? And they're like, "Oh no, yeah, I guess you got it right." But you know what it is, because we do kind of like it's the same thing. We take it very light, put a lot of comedy into it. You know, and now we got John as our shining promo drop moment. So yeah, we got to get the rest of you guys. I know Brian's still thinking about it, but
that was awesome. But yeah, it was like something popped in my head about that show the other day, and I thought, I bet you the guys will know. So I had to ask.
I like what Michael Knight says right here in the comments. He says, "I have a radio face."
He's not wrong.
Yeah, and Iron Horse Garage, William asked Heidi to show her dog finger.
Yeah, that's what I was just doing.
Dog finger. Oops, I
this
can't.
way. There you go.
Sorry.
There it is.
Look at that.
That's kind of like Joey.
She got to save her finger though, so that's a good thing, you know.
Yeah, Joey lost his finger.
And more.
You should see.
It's not lost. I know exactly where it's at.
You should
Do you have that arm sitting in a jar somewhere?
To the dog.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
Hold on.
No,
I'm not dressed.
Not that
on the
arm.
way down, so
Not that arm.
No, I fed the dog.
Hold on.
I took the dog. I put her back in her cage.
Great. He's literally going to go get a jar of formaldehyde with an arm in it.
That would be
well,
epic.
this has gotten to be a staple of this show. Guys getting up and getting things to show.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Ray, do you have a arm in formaldehyde next to you?
No, I don't.
That's the only thing he doesn't have.
I do not.
Finally found something he doesn't have.
Finally.
Do you have any formaldehyde next
No,
So is he serious or is it a joke? Is he serious or is it a joke?
It's a joke.
all right. It might be a little gory for some of you weak stomach people, but this is my arm right here.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, Tyler, come real close to the screen, will you?
It looks
Move
real
forward.
big.
Move forward a little bit. Move forward. You ready?
There you go.
So was it when you got zapped? Was your arm vaporized or what?
No, it was still there. It was just burnt so bad it couldn't be saved. And while I was unconscious,
you couldn't say, "Hey, I still want that."
No, they started with the hand and part of the wrist, but electricity was still in my body, and it was coming out the end of my arm, and it kept burning the end of my arm, and they had to keep deburring it back, and it finally stopped.
Whoa. Is that like for real, or you just busted my balls?
No, that's for real.
No.
And it's all in my mom's journal.
So Dr. Doom is based off of you or what?
No, his name is Lewis. Seriously, it's my doctor.
Where can we find that journal? Because I would love to read that.
I will send it to you in email. I got it on my phone.
Cool.
I'll actually send it out to everybody in the next email.
Yeah, I have a friend that works out at I call him Kilowatt Kevin. He worked out at a power generating plant out in Shoreham, and he just retired last year. But there's guys at his place that have gotten vaporized on on a real high volt. And he sent me pictures that weren't supposed to leave the place, and it was literally just this it was like a cartoon. It was like a black outline on the floor, and you could see a piece of a glove and a piece of a boot.
Wow.
Yeah,
that was it. Nothing left.
Yeah, my coworker Stacy, it went through him first, and he was right next to me on the ladder. And we were on a hydraulic extendable ladder, like a boom truck, but we wasn't in a bucket. Yeah, we wasn't in a bucket. We were on an extendable ladder, and I remember that thing dropping, and the cable that you use to pick up heavy equipment with, it's got a hook on it. It dropped at the same time and swung over and hit the power line. I remember seeing that in a big spark, like almost like an explosion. And that's all I remember after that until I woke up. But from witnesses, what they say is Stacy lost his balance when it dropped, and he grabbed a hold of the sign, and the sign didn't have a rubber boot or it wasn't grounded. And when he touched that, it brought the power through us and through the truck.
Yeah, you became the ground path.
Yeah, and so it went through him and out of me. He fell straight down 40 feet. I went flying backwards 40 feet, landed on the pavement, and it basically disintegrated him from the inside out.
Yeah.
And the miraculous thing about that, they, of course, took him first to the hospital because he wasn't breathing. He did have a heart rate, and they got him to the hospital, and then all of a sudden he just died. He stopped breathing. So they unhooked him from the machines. They called in the coroner, and his wife's sitting there next to him at the hospital. And all of a sudden he opened his eyes, and she ran out and told him, says, he just opened his eyes. He's breathing. And so they hooked him back up. And so he couldn't talk, but she was able to talk to him and say, hey, are you ready to meet God? And squeeze my hand if you are. And he squeezed her hand. And so they got him ready and life flighted him to Cabell Huntington in West Virginia. However, he died in flight and was pronounced dead on arrival. And then they came back. They got me there into the burn unit. I was on a bed that rotates back and forth. And I had big bags of ice packed all around me to help keep the swelling down on me because I was swollen like 3 times the size. And but when that went through me, came through my left arm and went across my heart, enlarged my heart, burnt all of my internal organs with 2nd and 3rd degree burns. There was when I landed, I hit the back of my head so hard on the pavement that my brain swelled. It started bleeding. My back was broken 5 places. My pelvis in 3 places. They just absolutely gave me no chance at all to make it. But thanks be to God, I'm here to aggravate you and torment Arco.
Yeah.
I would gladly send that journal out because to me it's a huge blessing to have my mom's words that I can read.
It's awesome. It's incredible. When I was turning wrenches, I had a customer, and he was sleeping in a car, and the power line had fallen on his car. And what you're talking about is the same things that he talked about. And he was really bad. I mean, he lost an arm and a leg, and he was burned pretty bad. But it was the stuff that he talked about, and that that was let's see, I've been 20. So that was somewhere around 28 years ago. And the same things. I mean, you brought back so much. It's just amazing. And some of the stuff that you talked about is the same things that he talked about. He was very, I don't know what the right word, motivating or very encouraged to listen to. I'm just in awe as a person that struggles a lot, and hearing other people. It just, I don't want to get mushy and gushy, but it's just amazing.
Yeah, well, thank you. And, one thing I want to point out, too, is when I was laying there unconscious, I don't remember this to where, like if I was awake and saw this happening, but I remember it like, I don't know, maybe it's a subconscious or something. But
yeah, well, it's definitely an outer body experience you must have had or something.
And I remember some like bright lights flying around in my room. And one preacher had said that those obviously or possibly were like the Bible talks about guardian angels being sent to watch over you. And so I have to believe or conclude that's what that was, is that it was like 5 or 6 of them just flying around the room. But I was unconscious, but I knew I was in a room somewhere. I just didn't know what had happened to me or where I was at. But I remember that, and I started talking about it after I came out of the coma.
Yeah, it's like parallel consciousness.
Right.
It's just absolutely insane. And like I said, I'm glad we talked about it. Like I said, I'm glad you're open about it, because when we met a couple weeks ago, and I was just really curious if you just had a bad night or
how you tell people that I used to drink a lot, and I met this woman, and the more I drank, the better she looked. And then the next morning, I woke up and had to chew my arm off to get out of there. But, Floyd County, Kentucky county attorney Tyler Green introduced me one day to some people and he says, "This is our local alligator wrestler, Joey Collins." That kind of stuck. And so every time we were around each other at meetings and gatherings, I'd walk up and say, "Hey, I'm Joey Collins. I used to be an alligator wrestler. It's great to meet you." And Tyler's over there like, "Oh my God."
Hey, I like what William put up. Iron Horse Garage said his mind got vaporized.
Oh, that I don't doubt. I'm definitely, in that sense, I got an imagination that I was just telling him in text. I said, "I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to offend you all the time, because I know you're weak-hearted and stuff, but I love twisting your words and making people look like a short Asian, And
so we got a comment along the lines of the conversation on Facebook. Mike Poinski again. He said in 1980 he was painting high-tension towers because he was a skinny kid. They just put him in the box 250 feet in the air to paint it with no safety harness. He held on for dear life with 140,000 volts going through the lines. Worked one day, said, "This isn't for me."
Yeah. Well, I used to take jobs. Well, when I worked at Shaconia Electric and Sign up here in Ashtabula, Ohio, they would call the shop needing something. Cleveland City would call the shop and say, "Hey, we got a light out on one of our towers. Do you have anybody there that would do it? The job pays $3,000. All you got to do is climb this tower, of course, screw a light bulb out and put a new one in."
I don't think I can do it.
Well, me and my friend Dave Sanders did it. And oh my God, I'll never do it again. It ain't worth three grand to be up, even though you got all these safety harnesses and you're climbing and you're hooking and climbing and hooking and climbing and hooking. Don't look down.
No. Right here, bro. Iron worker. I'm an iron worker from California, and that was one of the things is like I seen some stuff that would make people just literally piss themselves up high.
Yeah.
One time I had a buddy of ours, a building collapsed, the crane collapsed as we were putting the building up, and we're talking 250-foot long beams, I-beams. These I-beams are bigger than my house, bro. Tall, and they started swinging. And my buddy Gilbert, we call him Indian, he's up there like Tarzan, and all you can hear is woo, and he's swinging on these beams. And when them things hit together, boom, and he kind of flew away, and he had his harness and stuff on. I mean, the guy was completely insane doing that. And
wasn't he the same guy who?
Yes, and then so a couple days, a while after that or whatever, we're standing on a 4-inch beam. We're 120 feet in the air, and he backs up and he goes, "Hey, Arco, check this out!" And he drops his bags behind him. So he's sitting him down and he kneels down like this and does a complete backflip in midair, 120 feet in the air. And I mean, we had nothing around us, and I'm not scared of heights at all. I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
I was like, I felt my. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you were one of those guys that like took that famous photo where there's like 10 guys eating lunch.
Oh yeah,
on a beam.
we would do that all the time, bro. We do that all the time. Sit up there and eat.
Yeah, I remember. I think the scariest one we ever had was at a Hilton hotel up here in Austinburg, Ohio, and it was a brand new hotel. And the way they built this for the front, you couldn't get in there with a crane. So the sign had to be brought in by helicopter, and the installers had to be in the helicopter with them. This way, when they got it up there, you had to get it lined up to bolt it to that wall and then unhook everything. And me and my friend
like some special
Joe Miller,
crap.
co-worker, Joe Miller, we did that. And I tell you, it was the scariest thing ever was. I hate working on billboards. To me, I don't like heights, especially since an accident. So
see, I don't mind heights. Like I can go up on the top of the Sears Tower, observation deck, whatever. It doesn't bother me. I don't mind flying, all that stuff. But that like stomach drop moment when you think you might fall, that gets to me. Like I can't even do like those YouTube videos or Facebook viral videos where people are like hanging off the edge of a building and stuff like that. My imagination says, "Oh, they're gonna fall," and then I feel that stomach flip, and I'm done.
I'm always the guy that wishes they would fall. Like, come on, screw up.
I was
man!
On a rock quarry one time, and I was 300 feet up in the air, and I'm on the side of a balcony, and I'm welding, and some jackass. I had all my lines going all the way down to the ground or close to the ground, to the next couple stories down, and some jackass. I guess he looked up and didn't realize it was holding my lines, my welding leads. And you know how heavy those are. And he started undoing the vice grips. Well, he got like 4 of them off, and all of a sudden it was like dominoes. It just started ripping the vice grips off the side of the building. Well, I had my harness on, and the next thing I'm welding like this, and then just got ripped right off the side of the balcony. Woo! Wow. Right on the side of the building. Oh man, pissed. Wow. When I started coming down off that building, the guy literally got in his car and left. He's like, he's gonna kill me. Like, I'm gonna kill him.
Wow. You're still there when I get to the ground. You are dead.
Yeah. And then the only thing that hurt me, I remember guys grabbing me, trying to lift me up off the balcony, and they're pulling. I'm screaming. They're like, "What's broken? What's hurt? Whatever." I'm like, "You're crushing my nuts with my harness, man."
Well, I'm 6'4" and I'm afraid to stand up, so that's me in height. So
yeah. You don't look 6'4". You look like a little hunchback.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's just because I'm sitting low. Sitting low in the seat.
All right, fellas, I'm jumping ship.
Yeah, Lois.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
Hey, I appreciate everybody, and I'll be in touch with all of the group. And I will see you Sunday, Tyler. Aren't we doing your?
Yep.
I'll reach out to you guys about Sunday.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna be on Ray's show at noon, and then my live stream at 8 p.m. to talk about more bus stuff.
Yeah, I won't be there. I won't be there. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Wow. That's harsh.
You guys are dicks. Yeah, right. Slap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get out of here too. I really enjoyed tonight. I'm sorry I kind of took over part of the show, but I guess that's what it's all about.
All good, man. It's a good message.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, Jack Collins?
That's my dad right there, Jack Collins.
Daddy Jack.
I need my child support, man. I need groceries.
Good luck on that.
Got to pay my electric. What the heck?
All right, I'm out of here. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks,
Good night,
Jack.
brother. Thank you.
Good night, Jason.
Night.
See ya.
You little
Good night,
Asian welder, you.
Oh, baby.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna have to order ramen noodles, I guess.
Going in?
Yeah, I just had my last pack tonight.
Hey, I'm gonna click the red button. I'm out of here. You guys appreciate
Yeah.
you guys.
All right, Arco.
Up
Thank
time.
you.
Take care.
You guys have a good night.
Night.
Thank you.
Stay warm.
Good to
up
see
there,
you,
buddy.
man. From the
Later.
bottom of my heart, I don't like you. Now get out of here.
Later.
All right, I think I'm gonna go to. And John, it's great seeing you. It always is. I really like you, and Brian, I kind of like you.
Thank you.
Kind of. All right. Well, I'll warm
Kinda.
up to you. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Kinda. Wow. Kinda. That's
Well, I mean, kind is better than not at all.
rough.
That's
I can already
true.
see what's coming.
True.
Yeah, but Ray, you're the greatest.
Greatest what?
I don't know yet. I'll figure it
Okay.
out.
Yeah, it'll come to you.
And Tyler is waiting on his, but I have nothing to say for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, guys. I
Oh,
love
man, we got
y'all.
blue
Take
balls.
care.
All right.
See
Take
ya.
care.
There you go.
All right, bye.
Yeah.
How do I get
All
out?
right.
Oh, there we go.
Click the button.
The
There
exit
you go.
button.
Boo.
It's been a long live stream.
Yes.
Well, for you guys, yeah.
Yeah,
we do this
still,
every week.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know,
We still got another 45 minutes to go
John,
before it gets long.
John,
Rick-
lay sideways so I could read that freaking shirt. I'm trying to figure it out. But like
Oh, hold on.
yeah, I know it says something cool, but I just I know it says it is in
let's
Japanese. It's
The
just,
other way.
just tilt you.
There,
You
there-
too. It's too
ah,
close to you.
now it's too cut. You go far away.
Something you. Oh,
Flatten it-
there's
flatten it
Biden.
out.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck you. Who Biden?
Fuck you, Joe Biden.
Oh, Joe Biden. There you go. Wow, that's a new one. I thought that was an old shirt. I thought that
That's
was
a
something.
great shirt, right?
That's
It is.
cool.
So good. My wife wanted one.
Where did you get it?
Wow.
It popped up on Facebook.
Ah,
Yeah.
got it.
So I ordered them instantly.
Yeah.
I'm in the office and Barb's like, come here. You got to come here. I go in. She's watching TV, but she was on Facebook on her phone. She goes, you got to get these shirts. Get them now before you can't have them.
Right.
So they got a whole store. And it doesn't, you can get, it isn't Japanese. It isn't Taiwanese. It isn't Chinese. It's like, there's a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
For like every country. And
Right.
fuck you, Joe Biden.
Right.
Hey, did any of you guys happen to catch Kamala Harris's interview on NBC?
No.
Part of it.
Go search around on YouTube. The guy that was interviewing her put her like 10 feet under.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Said something to the effect of, have you come to the conclusion that your COVID policy isn't working? And she just kept, but it's
babbling.
the time we're doing this time, and now's the time that we're doing it. She just rambled. And he goes,
She babbled for a long time.
just babbled and babbled. And then when she finally shut up,
It's
he
contagious
said,
from Joe.
that was the most incoherent statement I've ever heard. And you didn't answer the question. And then he kept going. And then he said something about, I hope God cares about you or something. I was like,
Wow.
You see, that's
he slayed her on television.
and that's the difference. A real politician can take that under fire and come back with something that's still double speak, but at least it's a cognizant thought.
She had nothing.
She folded like a cheap paper doll. Right.
Exactly. Absolutely. So then, and I didn't get to hear this when it happened. I just had a lot of stuff going on, but I caught on the way home from the shop. I just happened to have Fox News on in the truck. So they played that and and my jaw dropped. And then they elaborated by going to other interviews. Like there was that interview back in the summertime when what's that the black guy from, I think he's from ABC. He was asking her about what are you doing about the border? Are you going to go to the border?
Right.
And that's when she says, we've been to the border.
We've been to the border, right?
We've been to the border. And he goes, you've never been to the border. And then she says, well, I've never been to Europe either.
Yeah.
And it's
Great
like,
answer.
you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
With what she's coming out with. And, Joe got
Well,
Joe
just
got his
remember-
butt handed to him today by the Supreme Court.
Yeah, well, just
Sorry.
remember, after the election, the lights were dark in the White House for like 5 months. So where the hell were people that whole time? Yeah,
I didn't know that.
There was a whole Facebook group of someone that lived in Washington D.C. started it, and he was sharing because he could see like the roof of the White House or something from his apartment, and he would share and be like, "The guard hasn't moved in an hour." You know, like the one guy that's on the roof.
They said that they were disinfecting and cleaning and
right.
Yeah,
that's what
hearing that.
That's what that whole thing was that they had to disinfect and supposedly, of course, there was never any photos or pictures, but supposedly Trump trashed the place.
Yeah,
well, I'm thinking they're probably sweeping for bugs or something, figuring that you know,
but they had a couple. But hey, it's not as bad as when I shouldn't say anymore.
Yeah, we don't have to get into all that.
We're still it looks like we're still alive, and I don't want to say anything.
Well, all I can say is Brian's box showed up the other day with all this stuff is great, man. This is like the best mug in the freaking world. And I got to tell you something. That fender cover, you had me there for a minute. I'm like, wait a minute, this looks like something I've seen before, but like a long time ago. And then a buddy of mine, so he goes, dude, where'd you get the vintage fender cover? I'm like, all right. He goes, yeah, that's like I had one of those back in the 80s. I was like, what? Really? I'm like, that is so cool.
Well, the problem was, Ray, I don't mean to cut you off. When I sent you the orange one, you had an orange fender cover, right?
No, the other one I had was the black one.
No. You showed me a picture with the orange one.
I might have showed you a picture of the first one that you sent me is the black one with the regular Macco logo on it.
Oh my God.
But I like this one better.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it feels like something they put on. It feels like something they put on you, like when they're gonna do X-rays. You know, it's like
it's I mean, I had to dig through. I dug through. That was one of the things because I thought it was orange, so I ordered the orange, and then they came back and it said it was shipped, and then it said it was discontinued. And I was like, oh, my God. Well, I know I sent them. I thought I sent you an orange one.
That was black.
So I dug through my storage unit, and I found one. And I found that motorcycle one, too.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm like, what the hell is this thing?
Yeah, those were discontinued. I mean, I didn't have any more. So I said, oh, Ray gets one for this bike, too.
Okay.
And, well,
how do you put a fender cover on a bike?
It's like it looks like a toaster cover. It just kind of fits over the tank. You know, it's got like U-shaped cutouts in the front and the back for the spine of the bike.
Yeah.
This way you're working on it.
And then I was like, I have black ones here, and I was like, damn it, I don't want to send them a black, and I don't want to throw you off if you had one black and one orange. Now you're right where I told. Now I gotta send you a black one to match.
You put me right where you thought I was going to be. No, that red one is cool. Yeah, thank you. That's I and then I remembered you said you would go through your storage unit. I said, I bet you this is old stock.
Yeah.
Because like this guy that saw it says, I haven't seen one of those in like forever. I'm like, yep, okay.
That's cool though. The old stuff's cool.
Yeah, and it's heavy. It's really cool.
Good. It's good stuff.
Oh, but I gotta tell you, the saga of the clock continues.
Oh no, don't tell me. I plugged it in before it left.
Well, yeah, it turns on. Mine turns on too. You can't turn it off is the problem. The neon doesn't turn off. Now on both of them, they just lit. Always. There's a white button on the back that you push, and I think I gotta get a schematic because before I go in there, I want to know. It probably just grounds the supply, so you can't turn the neon off. So I had it in the kitchen, and my wife kept coming to me. She's like, "Turn that damn thing off."
Maybe it's the kind where you gotta hold the button in for like 2-3 seconds.
Tried that. Yeah, I tried that. Yeah, I tried quick. I held it.
Well, I said, let me try it. I plugged it in. Light worked. Everything seemed to work. I said, okay, I'm sending this off the Ray.
Right. Well, actually, the one you sent didn't have a power supply in it.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't.
Oh, freaking slacking here.
But I have one with the first one, so
now you got one that you can take apart and see how it works.
I want to get I want to get a schematics. If I could see what they do with the supply, they probably just ground it.
Oh,
I don't know how many volts it takes to excite neon. No, actually, I do know. It's 90 volts. It's like 90 volts because we used to do that when I worked at Leviton. We would take a toroid, a coil.
Most of them run a lot higher than that, though.
Well, the big ones. But we just hook it up to a power supply, and you could put a fluorescent tube in the coil, and it would light up. So it's like through induction. But they probably just ground it. But yeah, that's because I had to think like, okay, wow, the clock, great. What was the problem? So I plugged it in. I'm like, oh, okay, it lit up and it's turning. Put batteries in it, and then I went and pushed the button. Like, hey, wait a minute. And I went and got the other one, hooked it up, said, yep, does the same thing. That's the problem with the clock. You can't turn it off.
Well, maybe they don't want you to.
Well, the button in the back it says it has a light on it, so it is made to shut because it's got a big neon ring around it.
It's for not when you're sleeping at night.
Oh, if you had that thing on in the bedroom, it's it'd be like having the sign like at the hotel outside your window.
I have
an
LED light that my kid had made for me.
LED, yeah. Well, that could be very bright too.
Changes colors.
Can you you have the power to let me share something real quick on the screen?
I don't know how Lewis let you do that before because that's on your end.
Yeah. So it should pop up for you, I think.
Come out of full screen and then click that share button.
Yeah, well, you put the bus picture up before, right?
Yeah. So I did the same. Yeah. I did the same thing again, but I think you have to approve me.
Okay, I'm not seeing anything that's asking me to. Let me see. I don't see anything that's giving me I put mouse over your face and it says remove. Well, I don't want to do that.
That wouldn't.
So when you click on it, does it have the share screen, video, and slides?
For me on my end?
Tyler. Does it say that?
Yeah. So I've got it shared, and it's like it's up beside my face down in the corner, but it's grayed out because somebody has to approve it to be up on the screen.
Wait a minute. Okay, hang on. Let me see. Add to stream.
There you go.
There you go.
So I've got this is for John.
Cool.
Nice.
So
nice clevis. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your critique on my TIG technique there?
That looks good.
TIG technique.
Yeah.
TIG technique.
What's well, let's see. Right there. Come
right
down.
here?
Come down. Right there.
That's a stop start right there.
Stop start when you got to make sure you add a little extra material when you're going to stop.
I gotcha.
Or when you start in the space like that,
let it build up.
Go back up like one coin. I call them coins.
Yeah.
Right.
And start putting heat into that. And when you see it start to puddle, then move. Dip and move.
But structurally, that's not a problem, is it, John?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
It looks worse from this angle than it really is.
Is that a ram for a? It looks like a ram for a.
It's a piece of tube with a clevis in it for.
It's a door swing out.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep, for a race car.
There you go.
Hold on. I better not do that on. I was gonna try and switch back to something else, but never know what might pop up if I type in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
John, I was watching that funny car video. That was quite the ordeal.
Isn't that awesome?
The photography was phenomenal.
But you know what? That's where it got me because it came across my page, and I'm like, "Oh, cool! I'm gonna watch this." And then once it started, it was like watching one of the videos that I used to be part of the production.
Yeah,
that guy has I sent Dean an email. I haven't heard back from him. This guy must have studied every single thing that Dean did through the years.
No, the angles were great.
I can just roll off every single shot that guy did.
Yeah.
It's the same stuff that I used to do with Dean. Dean's the one that pioneered that stuff.
Right.
Coming up the side of the car and sticking the lens in through the fire hole.
Right.
You know, being next to the slick as he's doing a burnout.
Yeah.
Running with the car. After the car backs up, you're in front of the car by the guy that's backing you up, and you come running up to the nose and around the car. All of that ultra slow motion stuff.
Right.
You know, all of that was all stuff that Main Event Video did years ago.
What shows were you on, John? Involved with?
There used to be a company based on Long Island and there's a guy named Dean Papadillas, and he owned a big car stereo place called Main Street Stereo. And somebody took him to Englishtown. He had never been to a drag race before, and he saw nitro cars and funny cars, and
Love
it
at first sight, huh?
inspired him. So he's a very creative guy. He went out and he started to get some like semi-professional cameras and got permission from the people at Raceway Park to run around on the starting line and actually film this stuff close up. Because at that point on television, it was static. There'd be a camera at the starting line, a camera at the finish line, you know,
Right.
and it was edit. It was cut. It was a done deal. He made it into an art form. And I met him. I had a couple of his tapes, and I met him at SEMA years and years ago and told him that I had gone to college for a couple of years for radio and television production. And he said he was looking for a camera guy, and he wound up hiring me. And I traveled all around the country with him for years, filming motorsports events, drag boats, monster trucks, Top Fuel funny cars, Top Fuel dragsters, Pro Stock, Pro Mod, all of that. It was a really awesome, like 6 or 8 years that I
So
worked
is
with him.
that would have been for like live broadcast or for
We did
documentary?
a couple of TV shows, but we would tape everything, and then Dean would edit it and bring in music, and he would produce these VHS tapes that
Yeah.
were sold Summit and Jags and speed shops. And
I have a couple of them.
I have a couple of
then
them.
later on he went to DVD, and he just made an announcement like 2 weeks ago that he's got everything up in the cloud now.
Oh,
And
cool.
you can download it for like I think for like $2.99 or something like that.
Like a
You can
subscription.
download any title you want.
So, someone's still watching us on Facebook. Mike points
year?
to. He said, "What year were you touring? What years?"
This was in the
It
80s.
was like late 80s, right?
Let's see. Well, I had the 83 dually. Yeah. So from like 80 to 90 or 91.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's
we went
awesome.
everywhere. I had such a good time. It
Yeah.
was great. There was one time we were at it's
That was the heyday
it's no
of
longer
motorsports.
cool. Oh yeah, really. It's Phoenix, Arizona. It used to be called Firebird Raceway. It's something else now.
Mm.
With slingshots with Jason Scott. Most likely you can find it on YouTube. You should be able to find all that stuff.
I think all that stuff's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's like wasn't it like Diamond Motorsports or something like that?
Main event video.
Main event, but yeah.
Yeah,
But
main
there was
event
another
video.
one, Diamond. I think it was Diamond Video.
Diamond P.
Diamond
yeah.
P
Diamond
used to be
P4.
NHRA's little production company.
Yeah.
What wound up happening is we did a lot of stuff for IHRA and a lot of independent stuff. And ESPN and Diamond P, that was watching those videos was a training course for those guys. There happened to be a couple of cameramen that were in Rockingham, North Carolina when we were out there filming, and they came by the motorhome and they were like, we actually have to watch your stuff to learn your techniques for broadcast. Because that's when NHRA got involved with ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And they literally, I mean, the guy doesn't have any real rights to it, but they literally stole Dean's style and put it on ESPN.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with like copywriting. Style is
You can't do that. He knew that, but he was the first one to do it. He was the groundbreaker.
Yeah, he pioneered it.
And you still see that today. Fox Sports, when they're doing NHRA, they're doing a lot of that, the swoopy shots and the whole deal.
Even Barrett Jackson does it.
Yes, yeah, everybody does it.
That's Chris's most hated shot. Is when they hold the camera low and follow the car. He hates it.
Yeah, we used to do that stuff all the time. We were in Phoenix, Arizona for a boat race. Nitro boats.
Oh,
Nitro, Top Fuel hydros. And I was sitting against the fence about halfway down, and I was just practicing. and there was a guy that went by in what they would consider the pro stock class, and the boat got out of shape, started bouncing around,
Right.
and then it went end over end.
Oh yeah.
The engine went one way. The guy in the boat, he
Those
went
things
another way.
disintegrate when they flip. Yeah.
Yeah, it completely disintegrated and then sunk instantly. And 2 seconds later, my walkie-talkie goes off, and Dean was like, "You didn't happen to have your camera rolling for that, did you?" I'm like, "Yes." I said, I got every bit of it. And he's like, "I'm coming." So, about 10 minutes later, he showed up, and he's looking through the eyepiece, and he's like, "Oh my God." He goes, "This is gold."
So you recorded the first pro stock boat crash on camera.
I recorded a serious pro stock boat crash. And
wow.
Nothing else was running at the time. I was like the only knucklehead that was practicing my pan. So I got this whole thing.
They were like practice runs?
Yeah, they were just practice runs. He pulled the cassette out of my recorder and said, "Here, put this new one in."
Yep.
And he put it in his pocket. And about an hour later, ABC Sports came and picked it up. And it wound up going nationwide.
Wow.
Because it was such a spectacular boating accident.
You were viral before viral was a thing.
Who was that guy that used to have a Sunday night sports show? I think he was on ABC. Had snippets of different videos of all kinds of sports, like if it was baseball or hockey and
Chris Economaki.
No, it wasn't Chris Economaki. But there was a guy. It's like a news guy, sports, and he had a show on that was on Sunday nights. I think he passed away.
Brian Gumble.
Nah, it wasn't Brian Gumble.
Brian.
Anyway, it wound up on
Michael
his
Pointy
show.
says, "John, that's badass. Congratulations."
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. So yeah, I got a lot of that stuff. I have. I shot some video of funny cars literally crashing right in front of my camera.
I'll tell you those AA fuel cars, those altered cars.
Yeah.
What a crazy class! I mean, running into threes.
Threes in the eighth.
And yeah, with over 300. You know, like Jesus.
But that race, I tell you what, I would like to go to Texas to watch that race.
Yeah,
because they had everything there.
They did.
They had alcohol cars. They had nitro injected funny cars. They had top fuel funny cars.
Yeah,
and you had blown. The body styles were amazing.
Funny car bodies,
beautiful nostalgia body styles.
They had funny car bodies from the 80s, from the 90s, when they had just the capsule. They had the whole 9 yards. And even when
then it was Del Worsham with a brand new 2021 body.
And of course, I like that little interview I did with him. And he said, I figured I'd put the car together and then I'd put a turbo on it. Why not? It's like, because if I'm going to go, I'm not going to bring a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got the funds. But they even had that car. There was a GTO.
Yes.
It came out a few years ago. They were running them on the West Coast. It was like a nostalgia class, and they were bringing back the old bodies. So it was like a 68, 69 GTO. I love that class.
Yeah.
It never hit the East Coast. It was only out West.
Yep.
But yeah, that was some great stuff.
Yeah. I got some sort of little, message thing about this video, and I clicked on it. I mean, that was like an hour and 45-minute film.
Like an hour and 50. And now that I watched that, actually, I got to finish watching the end of it. I didn't finish it last night. But now that I watched that today on my YouTube feed, I got all these other videos coming up that are like it,
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
It's awesome.
If you want to screen share again, Ray, I got another photo of that same car I was working on today.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, so I go full screen, so that's why I don't see it. You got it.
Oh, there you go.
So this is the
door. Okay, there you go.
Door bar and rocker bar that I'm adding to an existing cage for a guy.
Nice.
And I'm going to be making I filmed most of the process, and I'm going to be making a YouTube video about it. It's going to be the first video in what I'm calling the shop rescue series, where my shop rescues a car that someone else worked on.
Oh, geez.
Oh yeah, I've been
John
there.
about that.
Yeah. So this is like a poorly fit roll cage kit, and the guy wanted it to certify 850, and there's no door bar and no rocker bar.
I like the way you did the curve on the rocker bar.
That's
a pain in the ass to fit and
it's curved.
weld.
It's curved on both ends. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Because he wanted it to fit around his street seat, you know. And then here, come to find out that we're gonna have to switch to a racing seat anyway, because when he stopped by to make sure the door bar crossed between his elbow and shoulder, and he's way too high in the cage. His helmet's gonna be above the main hoop.
Plus, that seat's not legal in an 850 car to begin with, because you can't support it off the back of the roll bar.
Right. Yep. Yeah. So
there's got to be a link between the back of the seat and the crossbar.
Right. And his big thing is, I think he just wants to get it certed so he can sell it.
Yeah.
But
it won't cert with that seat.
No.
Yeah. He dropped me off an old school plastic frame Kirky or something. I don't know what it is. But
speaking about the safety stuff, John, there was one later in that video. There was a guy. They shut him down at the line. They just kept giving him the kill signal, and he got out of the car, and they were talking to him. He was all suited up. I swear to God, he looked like a deep sea diver in the suit that he was wearing. Literally looked like like he was deep sea diving.
Yep.
It's like, holy shit, that's really come a long way.
Tyler, one of the things you got to keep an eye on, because I've done a lot of those swing out bars like that.
Mm-hmm.
That big giant tab.
Yeah.
Tack that thing up in a bunch of spots and get it fully welded before you mess with the bar. You may have to take the whiz wheel and go around that clevis on that door bar.
I gotcha.
Because what happens is if you tack the tab, tack up the bar, and then you start welding it.
Yeah, it's gonna pull.
You can't get the pin out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Get that tab fully welded before you mess with the door bar.
Okay.
Because you may wind up having to literally pull that clevis
out
of the door bar just a little bit, because that whole thing's gonna pull back.
Right.
That big thick tab, believe it or not, is gonna move.
Right. Now, I actually was going to ask you a question. Get that thing fully welded,
top, bottom, and all the way around, and let it cool off.
Yeah.
And start messing with the door bar.
I was going to ask you, because the cutout in the tab is straight cut, right?
Yes.
And it's at an angle. So would you bevel the inside of the notch to match the tube? Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to have to make
a massive fill,
3 or 4 passes in there, and then you're dumping a ton of heat into the tube.
Right. Yep.
Not good. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to have to wind up taking material out of the bottom of that tab.
Yeah.
To bring the top in.
Yeah. That's what I figured.
Cutting it at an angle.
Yeah. That's going to shorten it up a lot. You may have to sacrifice that tube.
Yeah.
You may have to cut a new one.
Yeah.
Same thing at the bottom. In the bottom, it's the opposite way.
Right.
You gotta have to grind away at the top. You gotta bevel off the top to get that thing flush. Yeah. If you're in there TIG welding that, you want to get that gap tight as you can.
Right. Because you want to fill it top and bottom.
Right. You want to get in there and be done with it. TIG welding doesn't take too kindly to having make multiple passes on stuff like that. Especially like, I'm sure, what is it? That's probably a mild steel tab, right?
Yeah, mild steel tab, mild steel cage.
Yeah, they move around.
Yep.
Tyler, when you weld something like that clevis, do you have a device that can turn the?
I don't have a weld positioner. No, I'm manually rolling the weld over with my wrist every time.
I was watching a guy on YouTube who showed he made his own. And he made one to go circular the other way too, because he does. It's This Old Tony is the guy's channel. He's phenomenal.
I have subscribed to This Old Tony for years.
That's who did it, and I don't have to tell you what he does. And he made his. And I'm no surprise he made his own, because he makes freaking everything. So yeah, I'm sure you could find it if you look back at his stuff. He was he was away for a while. He didn't post for like almost a year, and now he just came back, which was great.
Yeah, he just came back. Yep.
And the guy does some sick machining stuff. I mean, just
and his what I don't know how much thought he puts into his scripts or whatever before his videos, but man, the comedy, the jokes, the references, he is what I aspire to be as a YouTuber.
Good luck. Because I know
I've already failed though, because I showed my face in my videos.
He showed his face. I saw his face once.
Yeah, he did a face reveal
a couple of years ago.
That was for 100,000 subscribers or 500,000 or something like that.
A couple of years ago.
Oh, he's one of those guys, huh?
You just see his hands. You just see his hand.
Yeah, he's disembodied hands. Yeah,
but his editing, you can tell, his editing work takes a lot of time because he does flash cuts, a lot of the stuff like they do on TikTok.
Yep.
But
he got famous for it. One of his big things that made him he gets referenced a lot in other people's videos. He does jump cuts when he's cutting metal stock material.
Yes.
And so you'll see him, he's like limbering up and cracking his knuckles, and then he'll judo chop a big old 6-inch round of aluminum.
Yeah.
And then it just falls off the end, So he got early on, that kind of became his thing where he would do crazy cuts like that.
Yeah. He always used to put his cats in the video too, and then he stopped doing that.
The shop cat, yeah.
No, but his stuff is, I've shown it to people like, well, what is this guy? I'm like, no, just stick with it because he really knows his shit. This guy is the real deal.
Oh,
Maybe the shop cat died.
Yeah, it could be. You never know.
The shop cat was a stray, and then they adopted it, and then the shop cat had kittens. And I don't really remember what happened to the updates after that.
I remember the kittens,
He incorporated the cats in the videos. Like he made like the one video he made, like he fed a whole bunch of large bolts a whole bunch of small bolts to the cat in the dish. And then he brought the litter box up on the workbench and he was scooping out big bolts out of the litter box.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And this is all in a real serious video about machining. I mean, the guy does some really serious stuff.
It's not really a comedy channel.
No, it's not.
His stuff is out of this world, man.
I mean, when he did something with the horizontal filer, and when he showed how to mill a square hole, I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't fucking believe this. So it's like the stuff that you learn just by watching. I'm like, damn. And now he's into all this, his CNC, but he's using the Chinese components and making them work.
Yeah, he built his own. If you go back like 5 years ago, he has a video series where he built his own CNC router, like from scratch, from a pile of tube and square stock. He built a router table and then bought the stepper motors and all that stuff off of eBay, and he built it from scratch.
I'd like to know what the guy does for a living because he's obviously in that field.
Yeah, he's very, very hands-on.
I mean, this is all his home garage that he does this.
Yeah. And I'm not even sure if he monetizes his channel.
He should.
He still works a day job.
Yeah, he definitely should.
Yeah.
You ever see any videos from a big guy named Titan?
No.
No.
What does he do?
He's a CNC machinist. He's got a huge company. They have all these government contracts and stuff.
I know Tony references a couple of guys that he deals with.
His name is Titan. Titan's the name of the company. His name is Titan.
Yeah, he's been on. He had a show. He was on.
Yeah,
Is his YouTube channel called Titans of Machining or something like that?
Yeah, he had a show on. Was it Discovery or?
Yes.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah, and he would it would be. They would have something. They would show how it was made or how it was produced or what equipment was being used or something like that. I remember that guy. Yeah,
very, very interesting guy. Really loud. He likes to go boom, which is the sound when you screw up on your CNC coding.
Crash the machine.
The tool crashing.
Right.
Yeah.
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 And he works with some insane stuff. Like, he'll work with Monel, all kinds of, aircraft kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then he'll do things to show you how it can get done. And he'll start out with like a 300-pound block and
Yeah.
whittle away
and
everything.
make a carabiner or something.
Yeah,
out of it.
right.
Yeah.
Unbelievable the way his machines are programmed, and he's got all of this state-of-the-art multi-axis machinery.
Well, we
Yeah.
were talking last week, Tyler. We were talking about that guy Ave, AVE.
Yeah.
I still don't know how to say the channel correctly. Yeah, I say Ave.
Ave. Yeah,
He
whatever.
does the same thing. He does a lot of crazy CNC stuff.
Yeah, and he started like if you go back like to 2016-ish and watch some of his videos from back then before he got like real popular.
Yeah.
I've been a subscriber on his Patreon ever since like 2014.
He used to do a lot of stuff outside. He did a lot of stuff,
Yeah, well, he lives up in the backwoods of Canada.
He's in Canada,
Yeah, and he I don't think he's ever come out, and I haven't watched a lot of his later videos the last year or two, but he
was doing a lot of tool stuff, tool reviews and whatnot.
Yeah, he strongly implied in some of his older videos that he was like a fix-it guy. So, like, there's an unfixable machine stuck in the bottom of a mine in Syria, and he's the guy they call to go get it running again.
That's another guy. You can hear this guy. I'd love to just see him because I don't think he's that old. I don't think.
No. He's definitely not that old. His daughter's only like 6 or 7 years old.
I think he's like in his 40s or something, although he's got the knowledge of like an 80-year-old. The guy is super talented.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think he's that old.
Yeah.
And
And
you don't see his face.
there's all kinds of interesting stuff I learned from him. Like, for example, if you are in the middle of nowhere and you have a hydraulic leak out of a threaded fitting, you can unscrew it and use chewed bubble gum around the threads like Teflon and put it back in, and it'll stop the leak.
Stops gas leaks too, by the way.
Yeah.
If you have a whole
Like all kinds of like weird, like MacGyver-esque, like fix-it stuff.
You just gotta hope you have some gum.
Right.
Well, you always have gum.
No, he is the guy for stuff like that.
Yeah. And then another if you're into machining stuff and welding and all that kind of stuff, A-Bomb 79.
Oh, right. I've seen some A-Bomb stuff, yeah.
ABOM 79. He's down in Florida, I believe, and he's got an incredible content that he produces, a lot of content. Like we're talking like a good 80, 90, 100 minutes of video every week.
Wow.
He does a Saturday night special. He's like, I don't think he's missed a Saturday night special in like 6 or 7 years. And then he does like he almost I want to say he does a video like every other day.
Wow.
But he started filming himself working in a big production machine shop, and that took off. So then he started filming himself at his home hobby machine shop where he did side work and smaller jobs. And then like 3 or 4 years ago, the YouTube channel and his home shop were doing so well that he was able to quit his day job and do the YouTube stuff pretty much full time.
Cool.
I was thinking about quitting my day job.
I am quitting my day job.
I know.
I wish I could quit my day job.
I wish I could. I'm going to build a bus with a shop that tows behind it, and I'm going to come to all your guys' places and help you work on stuff.
That's a cool idea.
Man, that'd be awesome. We got a lot to do.
I was started saying it before, but I couldn't finish the thought. That was something we've talked about a couple of years ago about coming down to Brian's house and getting that Mustang going. Because you're thinking like the combined talent, and you don't need 10 guys. 10 guys is too many. You need like
for a car,
4,
3 or 4.
3, 4, 5 tops. Just enough talent there so you don't get in each other's way and just can get something done.
Get it done in a week. Like what's that show that Joe Zolper's on? Garage Squad.
See, that's we did a project like that with the AutoZine when we had it up here. We did a breast cancer Buick build, and we took it apart at the Cradle of Aviation. So we had to, and they filmed everything. So we took the car all apart. That was, of course, the easy part. But like whoever said it before, like maybe you said it, Tyler. Guys would just find like, it was what's his name? It was Paul who said it.
It was either Paul or Arco. Yeah.
It was Paul. Going back together, it was like you just kind of found what your specialty or what you were good at, and that's kind of what you gravitated towards doing. And if you saw someone, because I had that happen, like I saw a guy having trouble with the front end, I'm like, you know what, you need a hand with that. The next thing you know, I'm doing it. I'm like, yeah, because I have no problem doing that. So everybody just kind of seamlessly, like, no egos. Everybody left their ego at the door and like, hey, you can do it better than me. Yeah, have at it.
There you go.
Just get it done. And we built that car back. It took a lot longer than we thought it was going to take. So there was a lot of problems, of course, but it got done.
That's why
that was kind of my whole idea. Like I've been through the list of things. I used my bedroom, my bathroom, and my kitchen at my house. I don't hang out there. I don't entertain people, all that stuff. So I decided it makes a lot of sense to get rid of it. It's not. Even if I was to have a family and kids and stuff, it's not the home I would want to be in forever anyway. Mm-hmm. So it's a great time to try to sell a house and not have to buy another. Yeah. So I'm going to offload the house in the next 12 months or so. And I'm dead set on building a bus. And then I thought, you know what? I enjoy working on stuff. I enjoy welding. I enjoy fabricating. And what's one thing you never see when you go to the racetrack? A guy with a welder.
Well, it's true. I got a local friend that I met here. He's a chassis guy. And he's got a car trailer that he set up.
As a shop?
And he goes around to a lot of races. We have this guy, local guy. He's a promoter. His name is Donald Long. A lot of people know him as Donald Duck. Duck X Productions. This is the guy that basically got small tire drag racing the popularity that it has today.
Like the X275 stuff?
That's his stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so he puts on like 4 races a year. South Georgia Motorsports Park is where they usually do his races.
I'll be there in March.
There you go. And they're sold out.
Yep.
Absolutely sold out. So this guy that I know, he goes.
Did he start that whole dog racing thing too?
Yeah. He goes to these races to hang out. He's got like a motorhome.
Yeah.
And he hangs out for the weekend, but he works.
Yeah.
So people say, hey, man, I broke my wheelie bars. I need this welded. I need that. And he goes around and he welds stuff and he makes a boatload of money at all of these events.
You know, John.
And I tell you what, if you have.
And then when he's not doing that, he's home. Well, he's got a really nice
home shop.
6-car shop. Yeah.
Right. That was my goal. I'll have someone here running the main shop, and then not all year, but maybe a third of the year or something, travel around to some of these bigger, especially like some of these no prep events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll have a race car with me and I'll have a shop with me.
There you go.
And then if YouTube ends up generating some revenue and stuff for me, then I can do that stuff on the road too.
There used to be, I don't know if they're still doing it. There was some guys that were they were sponsored by Miller Welders.
Mm.
And they would go around to all of the NHRA races. And they would literally be on the grounds with this large, like a Ford F450 with with like a chassis body with cabinets all around the back, and then
set up like a pipeline welder's truck.
Yes, right, like a pipeline welder's truck. And they were, and the thing was all wrapped in Miller colors, and Miller supplied them with all of their stuff, and they would literally fix cars at the drag strip. Stuff would happen. Somebody, crack something on a tube, and boom, there they were. But it seems like times have kind of changed.
Yeah.
When you look at all the pro stuff in NHRA now, those guys have fabricating equipment in their trailers, because the days of them just showing up with one 53-foot tractor trailer has completely changed. Yeah. Now they show up like John Force will show up with 8 rigs.
Yep.
Because they've got, one for each car, and then they've got the brain center, which is 2 53-foot trailers next to each other. with doors that open up, and it's like this huge thing. And then there's another 2 or 3 trailers for him to entertain sponsors, so they'll roll in there with 8, 10 full 53-foot rigs, and they can fix anything that they need to, and they
have extra bodies. They have extra bodies. It depends on the weather of what body they're going to put on.
Even some of these like no prep race events and stuff. A lot of these guys, they come pretty well equipped to handle their own crap, But the idea would be, that I wouldn't be relying on that as an income or a business model. That would be like an auxiliary thing,
Oh yeah, well no, but like I said, I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been to events where somebody has, something happened, and of course they're either looking at a car in the parking lot for a part, or wishing somebody had. And like I said, especially you can pick up I got a guy this weekend that's going to get a welder, and he just wants to have a welder with flex core with 110 just in case he needs it just for that. I mean, instead of sitting on the side of the road waiting for somebody to come get him, if he need, like I said, if he breaks something, and his posse, if they break something, they because the cost is cheap enough now.
Right. Tyler, back in the day, a guy we know, Billy Lynch, told me this story. He was a drag racer back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and it was an AAFD car, top fuel, front engine, and he got very popular in the pits because he was always a very consistent driver, and his cars are always like right on the money. And he says one of the reasons was, of course, they do teardowns, but he had a clutch resurfacing machine in his trailer. And when the other guys found out about it, he was the only guy who could resurface his clutch in between.
Now everybody's got them.
And when they found out about that, like, hey, Bill, can you help me out? He was like, get out of here.
We started using those things, gosh, must have been the late 80s.
Yeah, this is back in the 60s.
AFT clutches actually was the first one to kind of mass produce one of those machines.
Yeah.
It was about this big. It was like $3,000.
Right.
To this day, it's got a like a turntable with a hub with a big spring that you'd put the discs on.
Yeah.
And it's got like a little arm that it works off of compressed air, and you set the speed, and it's got a diamond tip, and it surfaces your disc. Then there's another part where it'll clean off. There's like a lathe on it that'll clean the flywheel, and then there's actually on top of it there's a belt sander attached to this thing for cleaning up the floater plates.
Yeah,
we used to sit there between rounds when I was
That's
running
probably a $12,000 machine.
Yeah, when I was running an IHRA Pro Stock with some of these guys and top sportsmen, this is a piece of equipment that we would make them buy. It's like, well, you're coming to me, you're building a car and you're putting a Lenko transmission in it and you're going to race it. You got to service the clutch. So you need to buy this, and they would have this thing. And then I was crew chiefing on a couple of teams and then helping out with other ones. And I'd be in there cleaning up the floater plates and the whole 9 yards. A lot of work.
I picked up. Go on, Ray.
I was going to say, nothing like being in it, like Billy said, this nothing like being in a trailer, sucking down asbestos.
Yeah. I picked up a
I used to do it outside.
Anco brake lathe that had a flywheel adapter on it.
Oh, it's nice.
And that was one of those treasures. The guy was like, man, I don't want this thing anymore. I'm going to chuck it. And I was like, really? So I rolled the thing out to the tool truck, put it in, tied it down, got home and started going through. And I realized he had like 2 tackle boxes on the bottom of the shelf, and I was like going through and I just thought they were regular hub adapters, Open that thing up and it was a flywheel adapter for that brake lathe. And I was like, holy crap, man, that's
Ray's digging for something. He probably has like the owner's manual for it or something.
No, that was Billy's rail. This is on the cover of Drag Cartoons magazine. Ward drew that. That's his car right there.
Wow.
That's the one he recreated. Pat Forster built it.
When's that from?
This was from June '64. That's a copy of it. But then later on, like in today's, he had Al Segrini. This was one of his cars.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he had the black one was the one Segrini. I have a model of it upstairs. It's like this way. It's got to be about a foot, 14 inches long or so. And it's funny because I keep putting it out. My wife keeps moving it. I'm like, hey, come on, that's Billy's car.
Yeah.
Billy's a good guy.
There he is.
There you go.
It's me and Chris with Billy at the Cackle Fest. We used to do it every year at the Goodyear place.
Look like Donald Trump?
No, he's just an Irish guy from Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Looks like Donald Trump in that picture.
He used to stop in and talk to Cook all the time.
Yeah, good guy. Yeah, he'll call me every once in a while or send me a text because now he knows how to text, and he's still around.
Now he knows how to text.
Well, he's old school. So
yeah, I know.
But that first time I got a text from him, like, what? You kidding me?
I remember being at the Winter Nationals in Pomona in 84.
Uh-huh.
And that was the year Al Segrini won with the Brute Funny car.
Oh, okay.
Top Fuel.
Right.
And he exploded the clutch at like 1,000 feet and just kept going. And that thing was all over television. You'd see the sparks flying out from under the car.
Yeah.
And that was a gorgeous car. It was I believe it was a Dodge. It was a funny car, and it was green because of Brute,
right,
aftershave.
Yep.
And it had gold leaf lettering.
Oh, sure.
On the side. Brute.
Well,
yeah.
Segrini
And oh my
was known
God,
for
he
that.
exploded that.
See, he was known for that because Billy, the piston I have upstairs, I have the piston and rod, and Billy said they just built a new motor, first run, and he told Al, he says, listen, just treat it like a Byron, just make a light pass. And Segrini never made a light pass.
No, Segrini's foot was always through the foot box.
Oh yeah, he hammered it. The motor grenades, and this was also on TV. The piston went. They got someone like captured the piston like bouncing down the track, and that's the one he gave it to me and signed it. And he's like,
what the hell is that? That is so cool.
It's a rod.
Out of timing chains.
That's neat.
Yep. Yeah. So one of the guys in my car club, Sean Pyros, it's got cobwebs on it because it was sitting behind.
It's like everything I got here.
Yeah, but this is the first rod I ever broke.
Oh, cool.
And then there's LEDs under here. It'll light up and all kinds of stuff. But yeah,
nice.
I never kept any of the stuff that I blew up.
I got a few things.
I don't know why.
This is the piece
stupid.
I recovered off the road after I went back and looked for, because my motor didn't weigh as much as it did when I put it in the car, So I went back and looked for what escaped, and it was this piece on the road.
Wow.
Here's what it did to the piston.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Oh my
God. At undisclosed boost number, my ring gaps touched.
Yeah.
And I don't know if my camera will pick it up, but there's a crack all the way through the face of the piston.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah. So number 1 and number 2, here's the other one. And so the ring gaps touched, put the brakes on, and the wrist pins ripped out of the pistons. And of course, when the rod's no longer attached to your piston, now you got a swinging hammer.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was aluminum block motor. So,
oof.
Oh God,
that's expensive.
I've blown up quite a few through the years. The worst was when I almost lost the car. It was at Englishtown.
That was motor number 1.
Right around
in my G8. That was the stock motor that I was trying to boost, and I made a mistake and paid for it. And then motor number 2.
There you go.
There you have it. Yeah,
that's what I did.
This happened at about 110 in the 8th, and yeah, that was exciting.
That's nice.
It took me about 2.5 hours to get this out of the motor because it was all seized up in there. Everything was jammed. So this broke here, and it actually rotated against the counterweight and wedged everything into the block. so I couldn't turn anything. I actually had to, not this piece, the front half of the crank, because this is the back. The front half of the crank, I had to wail on it with a sledgehammer to get it to turn enough so I could get the rod bolts out to drop the crank out. I had to drop before I got the motor out of the car, I had to drop the crank out of the bottom through the oil pan just so I could get the flywheel bolts and everything out of the transmission, because I didn't want to drop the transmission out too. I had all my tranny cooler lines hooked up to it and all that stuff. So that was an exercise in fun.
Yep.
It's crazy when you got to do a ton of heavy manual work just to get broken parts out.
Yeah.
Mine, when we pulled the motor out of the car, the what was left of the oil pan and the crankshaft stayed in the car.
Ah.
I had
That's how you know you broke it good.
I was at Englishtown, and it was actually a Super Chevy show, but I was allowed to run there because I had a Chevy engine in the car. And I hit the second stage. I had it on a button, which a lot of people today call like the
scramble.
The scramble button, yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't have enough, Captain button.
Right. And it was going, and then something happened with the fuel solenoid, and it shut off. So there was just all this nitrous going in there on the second stage, along with what was already going in on the first stage.
Yep.
And
that's bad for pistons.
Right around 1,000 feet, I felt the car kind of like shiver. And then it just went boom and shut off. And all you could hear was the wind going by.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know is the back of the car was heading one way. And I'm like, oh God. And I reached up and put out the parachute, and with one hand counter steered ever so slightly. And then it came around the other way, and I went, a little bit. And then it was a little bit of rock. And I got it to the point where it was straight. And then it was oil and water and everything.
Yep.
And as I got to the end of the track at Englishtown, all you heard was the sound of oil and water crackling on the headers.
Yeah.
And I got out of the car, and the ambulance comes down, and they're like, "You okay?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. It's like, dude, we were looking at the bottom of your car. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, you have a yellow transmission blanket on that car. And I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah. That first, when the ass end came around towards the guardrail, he goes, you were up on two wheels.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, I didn't even notice that.
Nice.
Couldn't tell. Yeah. So there's some footage of it laying around somewhere. So
that'd be cool to see.
That was the end of it for the day, and we dragged the car back to the shop, and then I let it sit there for a couple of weeks, and then there was a little bit of a lull, and I'm like, all right, I need to do something here. So we hooked up the hoist, and when we lifted the motor out, the oil pan and the crankshaft and some rods stayed in the frame. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Took out the block, took out everything. The only thing I took off that motor was the intake manifold and the carburetor. Everything else was junk. Oh, yeah, and the water pump. Took the water pump off.
When this happened, the only thing I could reuse was my intake manifold and throttle body and the rockers. Yeah. But when this happened, it was right out in front of my shop, actually. I was doing a test hit. And
showing off.
Well, no, not really, because there was no one to see. But it was very anticlimactic. And so for like half a second, right after it happened, I thought I blew off a intercooler coupler because I heard this big psh, and then it sounded like I ran over a handful of like gravel or bolts.
Oh.
And I was like, that's really weird. And then I felt the car start to do one of these. The back end just started to come around on me. And I was like, that's really weird. And by the time I shifted my eyes from the road down to my mirror and saw a giant plume of smoke behind me, I realized that this was more than blowing off an intercooler coupler.
Sure.
And there was actually a cop like half a mile behind me. He's like, I heard you hit it off that stoplight. But it looks like it didn't go the way you planned. I was like, no, it didn't. So I had to push it off the road, and I jogged the half mile down to my shop and grabbed my truck and trailer, and it was a good day.
Yeah.
A learning experience.
Well, you got to walk away.
That's right. Stayed shiny side up.
Hey,
That's
Brian,
all I
let me ask you, were you able to walk the next day last week after you were cutting and routing that toolbox top at midnight?
Yeah.
I'm sure your wife didn't kill you.
Did you wake everybody up?
Doesn't. No.
I was wondering about. Hey, you a couple of weeks ago, you pulled out an old ratchet wrench.
Yeah.
Old school. Like 4 teeth on that sun gun.
This is an old. Probably won't focus on it. This is an old Snap-on.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I like his better. This has got angles to it.
The angles. Yep.
And then I found this TRW. I had this in the box too.
Wow, TRW.
I got. I have a very. I can't remember. Let me see if I can. Oh, here. This one here. Oh, it's a Mako one too, but this one's really old.
Wow. Yeah.
That's like the ones I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 12 teeth on the outside of that thing.
Yeah.
These things are heavy.
They are
heavy. And this was like state of the art back then. If you had these, you were like the shit.
You were
I've broken those by over torquing them.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's funny. Here's a newer one.
Spread the top and bottom spreads.
Oh, that's a nice handle.
And see, look.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Right. I haven't seen those with that handle. That's nice.
That is kind of cool.
I want to, there's a shifter. I think it's Tremec makes a shifter like that with the milk. And I want that damn shifter for my car.
The skeletonized one.
I just wish I had access to a mill. I'd make one.
Yep.
But I don't. So
that's why I want a water jet table really badly.
Oh, yeah.
Like everyone's like, oh, plasma's so much faster. I was like, yeah, but
but you can make stuff with a water jet.
Water jet can cut plexiglass and carbon fiber panels and fiberglass and plastic,
aluminum, everything.
Wood.
Yep. Your deli sandwich.
Yeah. You ever watch that? What is it? The water jet guys or whatever on YouTube?
I've seen some
cutting all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'll cut all kinds of stuff. I watched them cut a ruby in half, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They cut a gold bar in half one time.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's expensive.
They had to drain the tank and filter the sand out for the gold afterwards.
Yeah. The thing is, they
weighed the bar before and after the cut.
Oh,
and it was like $800 or something that went down into the tank through the cut.
Oh,
yeah, the thing is, the machines are still kind of expensive, and they do take up some floor space.
Yeah, and you really they make them smaller, but you really need one that'll do a 4x8 sheet.
Right.
Yes.
That's really all there is to it.
Yeah. Hey, is Lewis laying in all the sheet metal ahead of time for this project or what?
So I think he's got all the sheets, but we're gonna have to cut them all to size and all that stuff here.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Because he's not doing a normal roof raising where all the school bus windows would stay and you just add an 18-inch strip below them.
Right.
He's going to RV windows, so all the school bus windows are going away.
So yeah, he doesn't have the windows yet or anything, does he?
He's got some of them. I
So
think
he'll be driving that thing back cold.
Well, so the plan is he knows where he wants all the windows, so we'll frame them all in and sheet over the blank over the ones that he doesn't have to install yet, and then he can come back later and cut out the other ones.
Man, that is a lot of work for a weekend. It really is a lot of work.
He watched a video where someone did a real similar thing, and this guy and 4 buddies said they did it in 2 days.
Wow, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. I mean, if you guys are really working, you can. I mean, it's like you said. If you can if you just know who's going to do what,
be efficient enough,
and just be efficient and move through.
And that's why Paul asked the quintessential question: like, how many welders do we have? If you got one welder, he's got one guy welding. That's it.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
It's, know,
and that's what I told Lewis. I said, you know, I want him to bring the bus down here probably a week from Monday. So 3 or 4 days before anyone gets here. And then we can do all our final measurements. We can get all the material cut to size, all that tedious
all
stuff.
that prep work. Good,
Yeah,
good,
the
good,
tedious stuff that will add zero content quality, you know?
Right. How close is he to your shop? How far away is he?
His house is maybe 20 minutes from my shop.
Oh, that's easy. Okay,
Oh, that's nice and close.
Yeah. Yeah, he
that's
actually
cool.
his day job, he's a bus driver, and he's on the what they call the Warren Express route. He actually drives right by my shop like 6-7 times a day.
Oh wow.
That's like the first time, one of the first times I had the Mustang painted, and we had stripped it at my parents' house in the garage. Pulled everything out. You know, we had no lights, no bumpers. Pulled everything was pulled off. You know, this thing, and the deal was his shop was over in Rockville, which was like 25 minutes away from where my parents lived, and I'd go out there early Sunday morning, and he'd paint the car, and then I'd just bring the car back, put the car back. Well, here I am going down the road driving, and I make the wrong turn and turn right into the police station. And there's all these cops sitting out there with their coffee and donut, and I'm like, drive right on by, and I got like no lights, no bumper, no glass, no nothing. I'm just like driving by waving, and they're just like all looking right on down, and my buddy painted it, but that was kind of funny about, oh, you're close by, don't worry,
That kind of reminds me when I picked up my car from the body shop after it was painted in the summer. I didn't put bumpers on it, no headlights, I had no side glass, I had the windshield and back glass was in, no rear bumper, no license plate, no taillights.
Yeah.
I had nothing. And
Yeah,
I just had one of the guys, I said, just follow me. I had to go from Limbrook to Oceanside. So I had to go just like 4 towns. It's like, we got 4 towns to go, man. Every town just gets, it's one less. And when we made it.
Yeah.
You get pulled over, you just tell the cop the truck got stolen and they stripped it, and now I'm bringing it home.
Yeah, and I got it back with a brand new paint job. Look at that.
Yeah, it was
They
funny.
took all the trim off and everything.
Well, the classic is, you're caught driving without plates, and in Ohio, at least, you get a 7-day grace period after you buy a car.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh,
So I perpetually just bought my car 7 days ago.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I had nailed Alana Sherd put up a video like that. She bought a car and she was driving it with, I think with no plates. I'm like, yeah, the only problem is, you put a video up, you drive it with no plates. She goes, oh yeah, in California you can do that. You get that same thing, like that 7-day grace period. She goes, but then I said, really? In California they'll let you do that? I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Very surprised.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess technically some cop could give you a hard time and be like, oh, let's see your bill of sale or
right.
But yeah.
Most
cops have better things to do than
right.
mess with someone over not having plates. And I always laugh. I tell people, just drive without plates, because technically, if you take a plate from a car that you own otherwise, and in most states, if you
that's
put
worse.
that plate, that's worse, because that's like a felony.
Right.
That's fictitious plates versus just not having any.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a lot easier just not having it.
Yep.
So,
well, gentlemen, it is almost 12:30.
Yeah, I know. We went a little later tonight because we were a little more involved.
I thought we were going to get cut off for a minute when the screen went all crazy for a minute.
Yeah, right. No, we're still
and it looks like we're still on YouTube.
Yeah. I think we're still getting a couple comments trickling in from Facebook too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's like
What the
Ferris
hell's
Bueller.
with you people?
Get out of here. What are you doing? What are you still doing here?
Michael Poinski is a friend of mine, and he's been commenting and stuff. So I just texted him. I said, I'm surprised you're still watching. He says, I'm not working.
Okay.
I'm not working.
Good.
See, the only chat that I see is the chat here.
If you Click over the
Oh, you know what it
Go to
is?
comments.
Yeah. See,
You gotta
I'm
go
an
to
idiot. I had
comments,
to
yeah.
turn it
Private
on
chat is
private.
that. Comments will give you what comes from the outside.
Yeah. And the cool part is it picks up whoever comments on Facebook streams too.
Yeah, it tells you Facebook or
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't tell you like because you can I know I was setting up my StreamYard and you can broadcast to multiple YouTube channels at one time. So it doesn't seem to differentiate like who's Facebook or who's YouTube the comment
Well,
came from. But at least it tells you which platform.
What does this platform cost a month to get involved with?
I don't know. What
Well,
I'm
when
on
I
a-
look at the
I'm on a free
comments
account.
here, if it's
Who's talking
YouTube,
about that,
it
too?
shows the YouTube icon in red, and if it's Facebook, it shows the blue
The
Facebook
F,
icon.
yeah.
So I'm on the free account for mine, up to 6 on-screen participants.
Oh, okay. There is a free account. Okay.
Yeah, and then the basic is $20 a month, and you get rid of the StreamYard branding. 10 on-screen participants. You can have your own logo and overlays and backgrounds, and it will record up to 6 hours per stream on your actual StreamYard account for you to review. And you can stream up to 3 destinations.
Okay, good.
And then
I'm
there's
fine with the free one. I'm just
Yeah.
I just need an hour a week.
And then there's a pro version for $39 a month that you can do up to 8 destinations for your stream, and it'll do full HD video, 1080p, all kinds of. Oh, it'll every participant has their own audio recording, so you can separate someone out if they got bad audio quality or something.
Nice.
Very cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
I see Michael just said he can't put up a picture, but he has a 1950 Snap-on half-inch ratchet. I had a 1932 dated Snap-on. It was a half or 9/16 inch socket, and I gave it to my friend that has a 1932 Model A. He goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, "That's probably worth some money." I'm like, "You know what, dude? You got the car. That's the year of this socket. It's 1932. Take it. You know, it's like you need to have this."
When I had my Snap-on truck,
That's awesome.
forget, I want to say it was a 9/16 box end wrench from like the 30s or maybe like first year Snap-on, which would have been 29.
29.
Yeah.
21 was just the 100th year anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't remember what year it was, but some guy's like, yeah, this is my great grandfather's, and I want it warranted for a new one because the chrome is worn off.
Yeah.
Literally, like not peeled, worn away.
Right.
And I was like, I tell you what, I will give you a brand new wrench, but I want that one. I'm not warrantying it. So
Right.
somewhere in all my old Snap-on stuff in my attic, I have that wrench.
Yeah, I've gotten a few pieces like that, and people come out and say, "I want to warranty this," and I'm like, "Really? You know, whatever, dude. Hand them a new one, and I stick it.
It didn't
Sticking
break. It
memento
wore
drawers.
out. Its intended purpose is over. It's like your shoes, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Actually, one set of these ratchet wrenches, I got another set. Like I said, these were mine, but I've got an older set because they have the gold is older. I don't know if you can see the ends.
Right.
Yeah.
How this is like gold color and black.
I see that.
And these are the older ones. But I had a guy come out and he's like, "Oh, I want a set of the newer ratchet wrenches. Mine." They make fun of me in the shop because of how old mine are.
They go
And-
click.
Yeah, and he goes, "They still work and everything." And I was like, "Well, the warranty doesn't really work that way, you know.
Right.
You know, but this is what I could do for you. This is how we could do this, you know."
Now, I'll buy
And-
them back from you for like $25, and I'll give you.
and he was fine, and I was like, "Man, these things are, you know, like I said, how ancient they are." I got a lot of my grandfather stuff, and he was a plumber, and he had some Snap-on stuff. And before, when what was it? What was White? Was that White that made your the Snap-on ratchets? I think it was White before they made their own. I think it was White.
Maybe.
What?
There was a brand that was acquired along the way called Williams. Williams might have made.
That's what it was. Williams. I've got a couple of Williams.
I have a few Williams tools too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Williams and it was Williams.
Yeah, because
Got a big Willie.
the name Snap-on actually originally came from the quick release ratchet style socket wrench.
It was the brother. The brother went out. He was trying to market it to mechanics. They had that's when they had one piece wrenches. It was like a lug wrench that they would use. And he says, you know what? If you could interchange the socket, and he made a prototype and said, it snaps on, it snaps off, and that's how they got the name of it. But Blue Point is the parent company. Was the parent company, and then Snap-on became the offshoot, and now it kind of reversed where Blue Point is almost considered the offshoot of Snap-on because they just got bigger.
Yeah, and then Williams is the industrial brand, so a lot of your big industrial customers buy Williams tools, and I think the military contract tools are all branded Williams. I think.
Well, I have some military. I have some military Snap-on stuff, but they have a different cast marking because they wouldn't warranty them. Because I
have a
warranty is different.
I was at the Englishtown swap meet, and it was a guy by the fence, and it was a black dude, and he only had like 8 things on the table, a couple of newer Snap-on stuff. But I honed right in. I picked up a regular, I guess, a 6-7 inch, a black 3/8 drive ratchet. I'm like, a black ratchet? I never saw one in black, So I gave him like $60 for it, and I found out it's either military or it's government issue.
Yeah.
And again, you can't trace the numbers. There's like nothing traceable on it.
Sure, because they don't want you to trace the numbers because the government paid $65,000 for that.
Yeah. So, but I have it at the shop. I was using it as a go-to ratchet. Like,
You're not wrong.
I'll just use it. It's a fine tooth. It's a fine tooth ratchet. So it's, it's not an archaic one. And
that's my favorite.
$1,000 toilet seats.
That's my favorite scene from Independence Day.
Oh yeah.
Sure, you don't think they spend $10,000 on a toilet seat, $50,000 on a hammer, do you?
Right. The Navy with $6,000 ashtrays.
It's totally true.
Yeah,
right.
It is.
I thought I had that. I thought
Just
I had
hooked
that.
up with government contracts. It's a beautiful thing.
That's the way to make money. Get in a business that you could get government contracts and you get rich.
Right.
Oh, that's the gravy train, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do a short video. It's part of the roll cage stuff I was doing today, but the induction heaters.
Oh yeah.
I like
those are so nice. Like I completely forgot I had one, and I was there. Someone had cut off a seatbelt bracket in this Camaro because they couldn't get the bolt out. And it's right below the bolt is the seam sealer at the edge of the floor pan.
Right.
So I get my map gas torch and I'm talking to the camera, and I'm like, let's put a little heat on this. Instantly, oof. And I'm like, blow it out, smoke. I'll hit it again, whoosh. I'm like, all right. And then it dawned on me that I have a freaking induction heater. Yeah. So I go and I grab it, and I was like, look, we're gonna do a micro video inside a larger video about how to get a stubborn bolt out next to something flammable.
There's a guy I watch. It's called Shop Tool Reviews, and he just did one yesterday. He was doing a drive shaft out of an '83 Chevy pickup, original joints, totally dried out, but they have that wax seal in them. And he says we're gonna try it first with a torch. And it took a long time to melt the wax, and then he used the induction heater. And he had just 2 wraps of coil, and then he found if he made 3 wraps, it worked much better. And I have one.
If you look at the ones that come pre-wrapped, they're three diameters.
Three coils,
makes sense. Yep. Tyler, what's your YouTube channel? Is it LongShot Performance on YouTube?
I have 2. So I started one a couple years ago called LongShot Performance. And the idea was I would just post like tool tips and stuff like that. And then last year when I decided I wanted to make like racing content and all this other stuff, I started another channel called Mr. Longshot.
Okay.
So Mr. Longshot is my main channel, but you'll see comments now and then from LongShot Performance. So this is my like media laptop, and then my shop laptop's over here, and that one's logged in on the other account.
Got it. Oh, Mr. You spell it out, Mr. Not MR.
Correct. Yeah, spelled out, Mr. Longshot. You can search me.
All right.
I now, since I have over 100 subscribers now, I have the custom URL, and it's Mr. Longshot Official.
Oh, cool.
Because there's some guy in Romania that has Mr. Longshot as a username from like
porn
11
star.
years ago, and
Really?
he's got the URL. He hasn't posted a video to his page in like 8 years.
That's the guy who's legit porn star, though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
So
he does measurement videos.
Yeah.
How far of a long shot does he have?
I thought about sending him an email and be like, "Look, I'll give you $100 if you change your name."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but it works this way because Mr. Longshot directly, that by itself wasn't available on Instagram either. So now I'm Mr. Longshot Official on both of them.
That's good. Otherwise, you got to be underscore.
Yeah, there is on the Instagram. There is an underscore. Yep.
Yeah.
Between the Mr. Longshot and official.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's time to throw out the garbage.
Yes, sir. I think so. I need to.
Your buddy Mike hung out for a while, and so did Justin. Justin, he'll be listening. We'll catch up with Justin.
Slingshot.
Yeah.
Slingshot Justin.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Mike's honestly, he's going to be running the shop here for me while I'm on the road 6 months of the year.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Probably. He's old school like you guys. He grew up. His one of his favorite lines is, "I've owned every muscle car that anyone's ever wanted to own, and I sold them all before they became popular."
Before anybody wanted them, right?
Before anybody wanted, yeah.
Boy, have we all done that? I tell you,
Yeah.
the cars that got away from us.
When he was 16 or 17, he had a big block Camaro with like 456 or 511 gears in it or something. He made like he made like $27 a week working at a tire shop, and it cost him $42 to go to school and work in gas.
Sounds about right.
I've been there.
Yeah, the guy that at our tire shop loved seeing me come in.
513s, he said.
The days
I had 543s in my car for a while.
The days before cars had cup holders.
Yeah. I'll have to have him come on with me one of these nights.
Yeah.
Because he's a hoot. He's got tons and tons of stories.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds
the
good.
black 81.
Right.
For a while, I had 543s in that puppy.
Wow, that's crazy.
How tall of a tire?
33 and a half.
Well, it takes some of it away.
A little.
Tell me, it was awesome off the line with a turbo 400.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Let go of the tranny brake and pull second gear.
Yeah, you could pass anything except a gas station, right?
This car was, and I just happened to find a couple of weeks ago. I found a photo of a gas station that we used to buy Cam 2, and it was when I had the white car, so it would be 81 or 82. It was me and a whole bunch of guys. We were heading to the Chevy Showdown, and we had stopped at Pace Fuels, and Cam 2 was $3.29 a gallon for 110 leaded Cam 2 gas.
Wow.
Back in 81 or 82.
So, real quick, I'm like the only gearhead in my immediate family. My dad never was mechanically inclined. He was more of a carpenter, and but he when he was going to college, he had a buddy of his named John Z, and John Z had a hopped up Duster, and it was set up for 8th mile, had some kind of ridiculous gearing in it with a big blower sticking out of the hood, and it was a stick shift car. So he used to hang out with my dad all the time, I guess. And the one day, John goes to my dad. He says, "Hey, you want to drive it?" And Dad says, "Well, I don't really drive stick. I know how, but I'm rusty and all this stuff." And John says, "Well, don't worry, you can't stall it. You might break our necks, but you can't stall it."
True.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. It's been an honor.
Cool.
It's been great.
I gotta get ready and run credit cards.
Brian's warm up the machine for Lewis.
I ran mine already.
Cassie, John, Matt, Goman, Brian, and Mr. Longshot Tyler in the house. We'll be doing this again on Sunday. I got my notes, so and I'll send you out that email tomorrow with all the information with the link and all.
Yeah, cool.
It'll be a lot quicker. We're not going to be on for 3 hours, 38 minutes, and 57. Well, we're almost at 3:39.
Yeah,
it'll be.
And we have to break for commercials and all that jazz. Like
I just do one break at the bottom of the hour because I got to play a couple spots. It's contractual, and then I used to do 3 of them. I used to do every quarter hour. Now I just do the bottom.
Yeah,
because I used to like playing more music, but now I just kind
of Co-stars.
Yeah, well, hey, he's paying the bill. That's the guy I work for. That's the shop that I work for.
Co-stars.
Well, if you have like talking points or anything like that, you want to hit or anything like that, send it over to me. Or
it's everything we already hit, except we're just going to condense it into 45 minutes.
Okay.
So we're just going to talk about the build. What did Lewis say? He said something else. And I'm thinking about as he said it, I'm like, yeah, we're never going to get to that. I know how it's going to work.
Yeah. Well, just 4 of us, right?
Slingshot 302.
Right.
See what Slingshot 302 just.
You see, John, this shit is contagious. You might learn something. People love Brian. You got a high bar, brother. I mean, not no pressure, but people love that clip. I love playing it because it's so.
I know. Well, I've been writing all kinds of stuff. I don't know, man.
Just record it. Just record it and send it to me.
Record it and email it over.
You can't. You can't be John. None of us can be John. John is John. That's just so New York, and he's got the perfect voice for it, the perfect intonation and tone. Either you could do it. So yeah, and it doesn't have to be funny, or it doesn't have to be don't try to be funny, because whenever you try to be funny, you're never funny.
Yeah, you're not. I know. Well,
Believe me, I gave up on that years ago.
I just rolled them off.
I gotta have a couple hits of Granddad's cough syrup, and then just have the tape machine going, and then I'll just send you a whole bunch of stuff.
No, you know what we gotta do? Listen, we gotta get on a phone call or a Zoom call one night, and we'll start drinking, and then we'll just record it, and we'll get something out of it. We'll get something.
Well, I told Lewis, I said, if we get enough done Saturday night to where we don't have to work Sunday morning on the bus, I'm getting the moonshine out.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Where's everybody sleeping?
Hopefully not my house. If they bring sleeping bags and cots, there's plenty of room here at the shop. But
remember the other rooms that you never hit in your house? That's where they're going to be.
Yeah, apparently. All righty.
All right, guys. Be safe.
Guys.
Watch out.
See you Sunday. Let me end the broadcast. We'll see you next week. Okay.